Jun jama'a kawo mu haya dan sa da dauki ga balawo anan sun faru sun samu na bam ga hanya inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un jama'a ku dibi al'ummar da asama ku diba ku gani jama'a a taimaka a kawo dauki jama'a a kawo dauki barayi sama hanya inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un kai wani baki ta bare ko ku tsaya na wurin wuce za yi jama'a Allah ya kawo mana dauki inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un ya kai inna lillahi wa inna ilaihi raji'un ga jahili ne shi ma yana kuka wallahi ka so barayi ne wanda ake rufi tanka biyu ce ga guda can sama wallahi tanka biyu ce kaga guda can sama ga guda ya can suna hada hawa ka gani idan hawa ka gani ka alhaji kaga ta can ka gani bam ne sun kasa ga guda can sama
ƙarya masu cewa Amurka ta jeho bom ya tsallake ƙasashe wajen 10 ya fada a ƙauyen Tambuwal a iya fahimta ta ƙarya suke yi ban ga jami'in gwamnati da ya zo wajen bayani akan wannan ba sai bayanin cewa wai kada da me ake cewa da Hausa to kaji sai ana ce wai gwamnatin kasar Najeriya wata ce ita ma ta san za a zo suna son su hada mu rigima ne da shugabanninmu to albarka wallahi mun yarda da shugabanninmu na muslim mun yarda da majalisar dattijan Najeriya mun yarda da majalisar dokokin Najeriya mun yarda da majalisar jihohin Najeriya akan gaskiya dai waɗannan ka haɗa ƙarshen magana akan gaskiya akan adalci to idan ku akan gaskiya ne da adalci ya ƴan uwana talakawa akwai ran da majalisar dattijai ta Najeriya ta ce mana ta rattaba hannu da Amurka akan Amurka za ta zo ta taya ta yaƙi da insaf ni ban ji ba kuma ba ku ji ba muna da haƙin majalisa ta gaya mana ko ba mu da shi akwai ranar da majalisar dokokin Najeriya ta sada
in the world domestically
the
cheapest and I'll prove it to you now. Let's go. Can we do it?
Yes,
go ahead.
Okay, I will go to
are you talking about this season or generally?
Not this season, generally even this season Nigerians are paying the cheapest. For instance, go and Google Delta Air. Now, as we sit down here, Google Delta Air. Do Atlanta to Charleston. Atlanta to Charleston is about less than 50 minutes flight.
Yes.
So it's like going to Owerri or thereabouts.
Yes.
Today, is selling, in 2 weeks' time, say Google 5th of January. So that will give some time. If I do today, you say, oh, it's because it's today. Just put 5th of January there. You'll be seeing about $400 and something.
But we can't use America alone for comparison.
No, I'm coming.
If we use Europe, for example.
No, I'm coming.
You know that there are options in Europe.
No, I'm coming to that.
Very cheap flights.
No.
You know, your, what do they call them?
No, I'm coming. I'm coming.
Blue, exactly. Spirit, and all those.
No. See, aviation is the same aviation worldwide. We buy our spares from the same market. You buy your aircraft from the same market. In fact, they're even a better state than us. What of the financing? They borrow money at 2%. Nigerian Airlines borrow at 35%. The next shop, they could get their spare parts from the next, or engines from the next shop. In fact, the same airport where they operate from, the MRO might be there. For the Nigerian airline to do any maintenance that requires base maintenance, you have to ferry your aircraft, spending about $400,000, just ferry alone. If you want to buy your engine, you can pay as much as $1.5 million to bring back your engine. He doesn't pay maybe more than $10,000 to move the engine from one point to the other. And when you talk about when you talk about not Europe or whatever, you cannot compare. It's the same aviation, the same amount of money, the same dollar. Nothing is produced in Nigeria. So 1 hour flight costs over $400 out there.
When you go to... What did you get?
That's what I was trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Say, for a main cabin, it's $459. Delta Comfort, $549. Business class, $609.
Now,
one way trip.
Round trip. I did a round trip.
The lady called Doris Ogala. Listen, we're not joining issues. Mistakes have been made in the past. And I tender apology to everybody. But everything that was said is not true. Everything, take note, everything that was said, never true. There are so many lies in most of the things that were said. But how be it, I say, I am sorry to everyone I've offended. To the Doris Ogala, I also say sorry, and I apologize to everyone that I've offended.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the final episode of 90 Minutes Africa for 2025. My name is Rudolph Okonkwo. Thank you for being with us. We are glad that we all made it to this point in the year. We thank all of you for being a viewer, a participant, someone who comes to the comment section to be part of this conversation. We appreciate all of you. Again, my name is Rudolph Okonkwo, and welcome to the final edition of 90 Minutes Africa for 2025. In this episode, we are going to have it open. You are the guest. Everybody who has, if you've been watching and you are part of this show, you are the guest for the show today. We have Professor Moene joining us, but we are making everyone a guest. Thank you again for being here. We're going to do a review of the year, what happened throughout 2025. We try to project what we expect in the year to come, 2026. Our hopes, our fears, and how do we do that? We have to go back to what happened this year and make that leap of faith that coming year will look this way based on what we saw this year. So that's our goal today. We're also going to pick our man of the year and our woman of the year. I don't know, depending on who you are, where you live, and what you think about events that happened in Nigeria, in Africa, you will decide who should be your man of the year, your woman of the year. That's our goal today, and I hope you will join us and be part of that conversation. But we're going to start with issues in the news today. We touch on the situation in Zamfara, where there was a bomb blast and people were killed. We're also going to talk about the fallout from the Trump's attack on Nigeria. There continues to be conflicting stories coming out of Nigeria from the government, whether the government was part of that attack, they provided intelligence, whether the attack achieved its goal or not. So we're going to touch on all those things while we make an assessment of how the year went. We had wonderful guests here throughout the year. One of them is our own Dr. Moene, who is in the studio with us now. Dr. Moene, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Rudolph.
I was trying to count the number of people we had. I got lost after 45, but we'll play some of the clips from our guests in the year as we go along today. But thank you so much for being here and being one of our guests during the year.
Thank you very much.
Compliments of this season. How was your Christmas?
Hey, Christmas in America is boring.
boring. I mean, if what made it boring is it that there are no masquerades? I mean, we can get some.
Yeah,
people
you grew up in a place. If you grew up in 042, you know what I'm talking about. It's, you know, even now, the 30 December, the 1 December in Anambra, it's the experiences we have when we're growing up. Masquerades, visiting people, dances, places to go, music festival. It's always in the air. Christmas, I miss the spirit. You know, here you have the Christmas tree, friends, you eat, you drink, and watch football. It's not the same. Yeah. If I didn't know any better, I would say it's fun. But I can't say it's fun based on my previous experiences.
Maybe what we should do is to recreate that here, you know, instead of hoping to go back home and be part of that. Eventually, that may be the solution.
With the snow, after you shovel the snow.
The masquerades are performing the snow. Why not? Why not? Get the masquerades.
Yeah,
you know? Yeah, but yeah, again, thank you so much for being part of this and behind the scenes for your advice and your, you know, you contribute to making this what it is. We appreciate people like you. Thank you.
And first of all, I have to congratulate you on your book. I know that next year you have to have one edition of review for your book. If you have to bring what's his name, Professor Wariboko.
Nimi Wariboko.
Yeah, bring him to host and interview you.
Listen. Yes, that's a good idea. That's a good idea.
So
but I have to get him a copy of the book.
Of course.
I'll get it to him before we do that. But again, thank you so much for being here. Let me bring other people in so that we can begin the conversation. Let's see, Mr. James, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thank you very much indeed.
One man went tomorrow. Welcome to the show.
No. I'm sorry. I have to sign up.
All right. Thank you for having me, Rudolph.
Shut your mouth.
I forgot.
It's getting beyond silly with that guy, the amateur dramatics.
I forgot that. We have to figure out how to get along next year.
No, he just needs to pipe down. He's not a girl, so he shouldn't be acting in such a...
Rudolph,
thank you for having me.
Here, more I greet. Rudolph, let me be at the backstage, please.
Okay.
Please. Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
For now.
Okay.
Thank you for having me, Rudolph. I'm only going to be here momentarily. I just
hold on, one man. AY, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah. Good afternoon, Rudolph.
All right.
Man.
So one of the things we have to accomplish next year as we continue, because we have to evolve, and I've been thinking about how to make sure that this program evolves and we can maintain it. What we're trying to do, and let me say that as editorial at the beginning, what we're trying to do here is not very easy. It's the reason why you find out that TV channels like CNN, they struggle because in trying to stay at the middle, trying to entertain both sides of whatever lines that you have, you run the risk of not satisfying any of the sides. In today's
world, you're not at the middle.
No. One man. Hold on. I'm talking. One man. I'm talking. When I finish, I'll let you talk. In trying to satisfy both sides, or multiple sides, it may be more than 10 sides, you run the risk of not satisfying anybody. But that's what we set out to do. We want to make sure that this platform is open to anybody to come in and air their view. It's a difficult thing to do, a difficult balance. If we try it and we can't do it, then we know we failed. But that's what we're trying to do. And as much as possible, we encourage everybody to respect others. That will be, and we do more enforcement of that in the new year to come. Especially respect the people who come here. We don't pay these panelists. Anybody that comes in here, we don't pay them. It's their time. I can take any heat from anybody. I don't mind. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. But I know there are some people who it bothers. So maybe this is my end of year comment. That's our goal for next year, making sure that people can safely come here and have conversation with everybody. and it requires all of us to give something, choose our words. All right. Again, thank you. AY, did I talk to you? Did I say hello to you?
Yes.
Okay.
Only you did send me Christmas.
Yeah, it's coming. Check your mailbox.
1 month, self.
On Monday, check your mailbox.
Mr. Mo, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon, my brother. You're welcome. Merry Christmas.
Same to you.
All right. So again, compliments of the season to all of you, everybody who is here, and let's start. All right. So I want us to start with the situation today, which is we are hearing these stories from Zamfara. Initially, it was reported that it was people going home with a bomb explosion and stuff like that. What do we know more? Do you know anything more on what's going on in Zamfara?
No, nothing more than what's in the news. It seems to be an IED targeting convoy. The people were being escorted from somewhere to somewhere, but I don't know that area very well. So somehow the bandits, now we have a new name, the terrorists, attacked from the rear, and people died. One graphic account was a woman jumped down from one of the vehicles, and of course the oncoming vehicle ran her over. It's becoming terrible. It's becoming horrible. What's happening in Nigeria? We can't all sit back and take this without saying what is happening. Where are we going? I don't know the details. I don't know what happened, but they seem to be calm. They had escorts, I believe, armed men in front. They came around and engaged the terrorists, who, of course, as usual, ran into their bushes and their hideouts. So by Monday, this will be over. Another one will happen. Remember, on Christmas Day, the one in Medugri happened to be a mosque. So it's no longer, trying to debate Christian genocide, Muslim genocide. People are dying. People are being kidnapped. People are being killed. We just can't continue this way. I don't have the answers, but we all have to show that we are angry at what is happening. It cannot continue. I remember during the war, you wouldn't know there's war going on if you lived in Lagos. You wouldn't realize what's happening in the east of the River Niger. It was terrible. It was horrible. Okay, for those who got to hear all about it or see some signs of what was happening. I believe the same thing is happening from Borno to Zamfara, and it's happening in our time. You ask yourself, what can you do? Well, we're talking about it, and that's what we can do. And then, on that note, I'll say, may the souls of the departed rest peacefully. This is a horrible place to live. I'm not going to say it's better dead than alive in that part of the world, but life is very precious. Life is very precious. We've normalized the anarchy in that part of the world. It is crazy. It's horrible. I don't have the answers. I don't even know what happened. In fact, we don't even know what happened on December 25th.
Yeah, we're going to get to that because, days after, we still don't have details and conflicting reports coming from the government and others. All right, one man to more. Went to more. Did you? What do you know more on what happened in Zamfara?
Thank you for having me, Rudolph, and good day to everybody. Dr. Mo, AY. So AY, don't worry. Your sapele water is on the way to wherever it is that you are. I have no. I only really came in to speak to the headline piece, and I don't really have that much of a time. So as soon as I'm able to speak, then I'll leave. But I'm not 100% of what's going on in Zamfara. We did expect some sort of response from the insurgency off the back of what the Americans did in collaboration with the Nigerian government. So whatever it is that happened, if it's from the insurgencies, that is no surprise. If it's a doubling down from the security forces, then that is well done. But either way, it doesn't come as a surprise to anybody. But really, what I came in to speak to is the man, woman of the year. So just as soon as that window opens, I'll just have my say and then I'll leave so that you can carry on.
All right, thank you. AY, what do you know about Zamfara?
I'm not really. I don't have the details. But what I'm gonna say is, I know there was a blast in a mosque in Meduguri a couple of days ago, and the one going on in Zamfara. That's really kind of like aligned with most of our argument where people say there is Christian genocide in the north. We try to balance this and say, no, that's not correct. What is actually correct, there is genocide against Nigeria. It's just unfortunate that the government are sleeping. They can't really identify what is really going on in the different states, in the different regions. The crisis going on in Nigeria. Yeah, there might be isolated case of religious killing. There might be isolated case of tribal killing. So these are things we need to accept. Then the government need to deal with this issue because they are serious issue. Because when people throw bomb into a public place, it does not distinguish anybody. So he just killed. So that is what we need to understand. Nigeria needs to come together and actually accept that there is crisis. There is crisis in Nigeria of insecurity. And the government needs to wake up to try to deal with this issue decisively so that Nigerians anywhere can live in peace and travel in peace. Thank you.
All right. But the format of the show for me today, I wanted us to touch on issues, current issues in the news, and then look at a review of the year. And then finally, the third part will be where we pick our man or woman of the year. But I understand that one man you have to go. Maybe I will get you to weigh in on that last part. But we want to get follow this pattern. Issues in the news currently. I want us to talk about Onyema and his idea, his argument on why airfares are expensive in Nigeria, or are the cheapest according to him in Nigeria. I want to get your views on that and other issues. Tinubu is traveling, or I think he has left, or he's about to leave Nigeria for Europe for a holiday vacation, and I will take him to Dubai and things like that. We get on those things and then get to review of the last year. And finally, we pick our man and woman of the year. That's the format. So one man, if you're not going to hang around for that, maybe you want to come back towards the end to weigh in on your man of the year or woman of the year. It will be awkward, just to say that now when we are not discussing it, because we want to have a discussion. People will say their own. We can come to a conclusion and say this is why this is more important. Otherwise, it will be awkward to just drop it and go. Because so that's the format I have in mind for today's show. So let's move to the Americans and the missile.
All right, Rudolph, let me build. I only came in for that single item something.
Okay.
And I don't think we need a preamble, by the way. We all live to the year, so we don't need a preamble to land on it. But let me build, since you've set the format. I'll be listening. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, woman. All right. So Mo, let me talk about help me talk about the American. What do we know about the bombing, the one that happened in Singapore? So the way they framed it is different government officials. They came out and said, "Oh, we gave them the intelligence. We work with them. They, all those things." But do we agree to any of those ideas that they are throwing out? That's what happened.
Well, you can't manufacture your facts. You have to work with what you are told. Our president, you know how he talks, so we keep that apart, okay? But he may be telling the truth. But as the commander-in-chief, he gave the order, the wedding, they've had some, they've had some flybys and watch how the shows, and they had the capability, they have the intelligence, they have everything. And they executed. So if Nigeria helped them, I'm just wondering how. But that's not the issue. The issue is Nigerian government knew that this was going to happen. I'll be surprised if the American intelligence gave them everything. and I'll tell you why. If you remember the Chibok girls rescue planned by Americans, according to sources, the plan was leaked, and before they could execute, these terrorists had masks on because they're going to use some form of gas to numb everybody and then come rescue the girls. So I'll be surprised that the American intelligence trusted Nigerian government so well that gave them the coordinates and everything. Well, again, even if you give them the coordinates, what are they going to do with it? So we don't know what happened. We only saw the explosion from, I believe, is a frigate that fired from somewhere in the Gulf. We don't even know the situation. This frigate is based in Spain, so it must have sailed down the Gulf of Guinea or to Ghana or to Accra. Nobody knows. So this is surprising. I think we are seeing a kind of decrease in the activity of journalists. I mean, if you were in Syria, somebody would be there, see what's happening, or even Iran or Iraq. But here, it's complete blackout. Well, not complete blackout, but just what the U.S. government has shown us, the explosion, not explosion, but the firing of the missile, whatever that was. So we didn't see any drones or planes. We didn't see any, apart from the reports on metal pieces picked out from the ground, people who had the explosion. So it's interesting. This might be a new era in reporting news from abroad. We know in Nigeria nobody goes anywhere. They wait in the house for the news to come written in some government house and handed over to them. So investigative journalism had died in Nigeria way back. So now I'm surprised with them that something is happening in America. As regards Africa, that is, I'm sure if you were somewhere in Israel or in Gaza, you will get to see what is happening. So that's concerning. That's troubling to me that such a thing will happen and nobody knew about it. Again, the consequences are obvious. The Nigeria's rating in the world has dropped a bit, but it's not going to kill anybody apart from those who have died. Pakistan got the same treatment. Iran, Iraq, and these are not small countries. So for my friends who think it's a shame, it's not a shame. Whatever anybody can do to stop what is going on in northern Nigeria, and there's some other parts of Nigeria, by the way, it should be done. Something we just can't sit down and allow this thing to fester. And before you know it, these guys will show up in Abuja if they have not. In Sikwara, they're there, in Kogi, even in Benue. So it's sad. So I want more. I need to. It's not just me. People have been calling me and asking me, and I'm like, I don't know. I was in my house. I didn't go anywhere. So we all have to search the net and tune into different stations. Not even CNN, not MSNBC, this BBC. They just announced the same thing that we know. That's what they're saying over and over again. So if anybody here has anything more to add, I'm listening.
Do you know why Sokoto?
That's another story. I don't know why. They said Zamfara. Then later we heard that it was also in Sokoto. And what's it name? So local government, Tambuwa local government, because I know the guy, the former speaker, is from there. So I don't know why Sokoto. Some people have alleged that Trump, Trump, he has to go to the seat of the caliphate to show them that he's serious about this Christian genocide. I don't think so. I believe they have credible intelligence. Some say that they were gathering in some local government in Sokoto and were planning to launch an attack on somewhere south of the border of Sokoto. I don't know that it's true. I don't know why Trump chose the Christmas day. I don't know. they're open to interpretation, to insinuations, to how do you call it? Beer parlor analysis. But I don't think we should go there. It doesn't make sense at all to say all that. But why Sokoto? That's a good question.
All right. Thank you, Mo. AY, questions. Do you believe that the Nigerian government was informed or they coordinated with the Americans? And do you believe their story that, and why Sokoto?
Yeah. It's just unfortunate that the citizen cannot actually trust the government. That's where we are in Nigeria. I have my doubts if they were really aware of this operation. Probably if they were aware, they don't have the full information. Probably more like FYI. At some point, we're gonna do this. But I also have a big doubt the interest of America in Nigeria, especially President Trump. If President Trump, because even he makes a lot of blunder. Here is my criticism. The first mistake was giving terrorists threatening Nigeria a month ahead before the operation. If he was really genuine, he really wanted to help Nigeria to clear up the forest, clear up the terrorists. Why was it not a secret operation? Secret operation in the sense that you work with the Nigerian military, at least the top military men, working with them and, okay, this is our challenge. This is where these people are located, able to do surveillance. I just go there one night, strike at once, strike multiple targets. But what you see is like somebody is saying, oh, I'm going to give you a gift. The gift is coming. Or somebody is saying, oh, I'm coming to your house to kill you. You are sleeping, waiting for the person. These people are not dumb. With all the talk that has been going on, I would have thought the bandits and the terrorists, I'm pretty sure they must have infiltrated the communities. Some of them must have moved out from their hideout. So these are things we need to really question. The other thing is, even Netanyahu, that is killing Christians in Palestine, he allowed them to do Christmas, bomb churches, bomb mosques in Palestine. He is also coming to Nigeria now, talking about Christian genocide. You that sponsor the killing of over 20,000 children. So what is his whole interest? So you look at what is also going on in Somalia. He's supporting Somaliland to break out from Somalia. He is technically the first country that is supporting that madness. A lot of people are against that. So what is his interest in Africa now? When you look at it, the Western countries, they are almost literally all against Netanyahu and the Israel, right? So it seems he's looking for new allies. So my only prayer is Africa, Nigeria, Africa does not serve as another war ground for them, But if the interest of Trump is genuine to help Nigeria to cope with security, yeah, that is welcome. If they are also working with the government, I personally don't believe. Let me say this clearly, that any country, America or whatsoever, should come into Nigeria unilaterally to stamp Bobby places. That is unacceptable. But if the government give them go ahead, they have some kind of collaboration, yeah, that's good, because Nigeria are really suffering. The insecurity, especially in the north, is really much. So if we need help, we need help. But we want the help to be genuine, to sincerely help the country, but not create crisis. Hopefully there is no ulterior motive for them coming to Nigeria and Africa. So the choice of Sokoto, that's also a big question, right? Why Sokoto? Big question, because when you look at the activities of the terrorists in the north, Sokoto is not like the top area where these crises are going on. We have Borno for many years. In Zafara, yes, there is a lot of crisis. In Benue, there is a lot of crisis. In part of Plateau, there is a lot of crisis. Niger, there is a lot of crisis. So the choice of Sokoto, I don't know. I know some people have kind of like their belief is, oh, his target is the Sahel countries, but I don't have any proof for that. But I sincerely hope the plan is not to destabilize Nigeria and destabilize the West Africa countries. Thank you.
All right, thank you, AY. Mr. James, it's been 3 days. We don't know much. We don't know details about target victims. We see in today's newspapers that there is a story about American drone flying over Nigeria, looking at Sambisa Forest. What do you know now? And what's your assessment of what happened? Unmute yourself, James.
Yeah, actually, when you say what do you know, it means I'm a collaborator. But I know nothing about what they're planning. Anyway, the issue is this. The Nigerian military was not involved in the operation. The reason is this. The gentleman, I think it's Dr. Mo, explained something earlier on. When they came to rescue the Chibok girls, the Nigerian military played a game on them. And they were not happy, so they left. Up till now, we've not been able to solve the Chibok crisis. So it would be foolish of the Americans to collaborate with Nigerians on a very important mission of this nature. They were completely left out. And they are keeping everything strictly confidential. This is why the journalists have not been able to penetrate. They know virtually nothing about what happened. Where the missiles were fired, they don't know anything about it. If the ship was located in Spain, did they fire the missiles from Spain? Because it's possible to fire a missile from Spain to a particular coordinate in Nigeria. Did they fire it from Ghana? Did they fire it from Nigerian waters? We do not know. They only said Gulf of Guinea. So that is that. Now, why Sokoto? Mr. I think it's a doctor, Ruben Abati of Arise News answered this question yesterday, or the day before yesterday, I can't remember. Now, this is his explanation. Let me express it in my own words. Assuming Al-Qaeda boys are disturbing, let's say, Borno State, they are where what's it called? Their operational headquarters could be in Mogadishu, in Somalia. That is where they work out the modalities. Then the field work is carried out in Borno State. If you want to tackle the problem in Borno State, you need to go to Mogadishu, not Borno State. You need to scatter them there. Then their what we call foot soldiers will be in disarray in Borno State. Probably that is the strategy the Americans use. It is true that Sambisa Forest is the epicenter for terrorist activities in Nigeria. But Sokoto State is also not a free zone. If you look at the photograph we saw yesterday, one of the buildings they bombed had no occupant. It was just an empty, it was an empty building. Nobody died. Nobody has come up to say, I own this house. Why did they bomb my house? Nobody was injured. Now, I want to believe, although without empirical proof, I want to believe that that very building could be their operational headquarters, which the American satellites must have picked up long ago. So they start the operation from there. That is why they started from Sokoto. And Sokoto State is not a clean state. Lakurawa terrorist movement is based in Sokoto State. So what is wrong if they start from Sokoto State? You get the point I'm making. So this is another way of looking at this problem. And there's still one little disturbing aspect of it. Some boys or some people in one of the states, I can't remember, Sokoto or so, They found a device that has not exploded, something like a missile that did not explode. So they had to dig it down and pull it out with a camel, according to them, before the security forces advised them not to try such a thing next time. From what I can see, the missiles they fired, some of them penetrated the ground, infiltrated the ground, and they are lying dormant, just like mines. They laid mines in sensitive areas, so that maybe in future, or they must have identified those areas as where these boys congregate, where the terrorists congregate, so that in future, if their satellites will pick them up, I'm sorry, I need not discuss these things online. It's better I discuss it with you privately, because I remember Sunday at Davidson, one of our Inspector General of Police, when he was discussing the problem of armed robbery, they asked him a question. What tactics do you use to identify the armed robbers and drug traffickers? He said, we cannot discuss these matters in public because it will make them wiser. So I cannot discuss these matters in public, I'm sorry. I can discuss it with you privately later on. However, a new day has dawned in Nigeria. A new day has dawned. We should get ready for a very rough time. What I would call an unmitigated disaster is smoldering. An unmitigated disaster is smoldering because the Nigerian government is involved with the Americans, that's the Western world. They're involved with the Russians. They're involved with the Turkish people, and they're involved with the Chinese. So these four superpowers having interest in Nigeria, I do not know if we have the right intellectual capability to maneuver our ways in these very rough waters we deliberately immersed ourselves. So that is my comment for now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Mo, you can always weigh in if there is something that any of our participants said that triggered an idea or a response from you. So just to mention that.
Sure, I'm learning.
Okay. Femi, welcome.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, especially to you, Mr. Rudolph, Dr. Rudolph, and I don't know if our elder Mo is a doctor or professor, but all join.
Mo is a doctor.
The last time I checked, I'm still a mister.
Mo is a doctor.
We'll make you an emeritus regius.
Mo is a real doctor. Yeah, Femi, go ahead. What do you make of what has been going on with the Americans and the Nigerian government in particular? Because we don't know what the thinking behind what Trump's people did, but what the Nigerian government, their reaction, their press statements, including claiming that they provided intelligence to the Americans.
Yeah. So first of all, Doctor, I want to align with your model of trying to make us think within, outside, under, and above the box, around the box, when trying to analyze things, starting from a world position, from I would say from the top to the bottom. And in a lot of cases, what you aim to do, in my opinion, is critical thinking of sorts, which you definitely teach in schools here in America, to try to see comparisons between or how the things that happen within our own hamlets and what have you, at home, wherever we are, whether in Nigeria or other parts of Africa, and try to connect it with events that take place in the world. And that's how I've modeled my own thought processes for the last couple of years. Once I realized how, in Fela's words, teachers have taught us nonsense in the past. Because I continuously say, it's my opinion that we, the humans that make up this earth, especially in 2026, yes, I said so, are the actual principalities and powers. I say this to say that it's impossible not to connect what is happening amongst what is considered as the multipolar world. It's impossible to divulge it from what's happening in other parts of the world, whether within the world powers or between the world powers and what you may consider almost near non-entities, which, as far as I'm concerned, is what the likes of Nigeria is today. If you even want to look at moral equivalence, you want to look at what's, in our opinion, listening to a lot more better informed and more involved Americans, Europeans, the list long, the May Shermans, the Jeffrey Sachs, the Alistair Corks, the bald guy that in my opinion, is being in prison because he's revealing a lot of things that's going on, a lot of ongoings that the European Union do not want to hear, do not want people to hear about. And if one continuously questions a lot of motives, there could be again. I was into this medical doctor yesterday. He said something that I always like to introspect myself, that while we may have our biases, we may have our sentiments, there's a lot that goes on that goes beyond what Dr. Mo has rightfully described as what could be our beer parlor analysis. I do not claim to be an expert, but you see, even starting from what we see going around us, those of us that are around the American side of things here, that live in America or Canada, what have you. What's happening in Venezuela requires a lot more inspection to try to even explain what's maybe going on in other parts, especially in this case, Nigeria. Because even if you go as far back as when ISIS became what it became, if you go even prior to then, a lot of events happened that led to the creation of what's it called, the forebearer of ISIS, the one that gave rise to Osama.
Al-Qaeda.
I'm sorry?
Al-Qaeda.
Right. A lot of regimes that exist even in Africa today, and even I think it was on when Dr. Forefathers was anchoring a couple of days ago. I quickly drew attention to the fact that I remember very well at the time when proper social studies and maybe to an extent history was still being taught. At least I caught a wind of it, of how DR Congo has never had a day of peace. And there's a reason for it. People can say one is speculating, but there's books that have been written about these things, even about how certain agencies that should not be mentioned have been complicit and continue to be complicit in a lot of things that goes on. People might not like this, but we've been miseducated a lot as well. And that's why I had to re-educate myself in a lot of things. And again, I listen to people that, in my opinion, know better and see even America, even Britain and Germany and France, for example. That's not to take away the role of China and even Russia. That's not taking them out of the equation. Even the guys that are lining multifariously in the Middle East, the Saudis, the UAE, and what have you. That's not to take away the fact that they're all complicit. And of course, we still have our own local issues as well. After all, we did not bring ourselves together.
All right. So Femi, round up so that we can get to other people.
Conclusion is, with what has happened recently over the Christmas break happening, like I said yesterday, I do not expect anybody to tell me Happy New Year, because a lot more crazy. Let's fasten our seatbelts and get ready for the craziest year ever, because this is just the beginning. And whilst the Nigerian government over the years are definitely complicit in all of what's going on across religious lines, across ethnic lines, just bombing is not going to solve anything, because there's other undercurrents that need to be looked into. It's not going to solve anything. That's the angle I want to attack it from.
All right, thank you, Femi. CM, welcome to the show. Welcome everybody who is joining us. We have to make it such that everybody weigh in, so we reduce the time we give people to 5 minutes. So CM, welcome. There are so many angles to this story. One of them is quite interesting to me. People who were attacking P2B for saying that he will welcome the Americans to come and help solve the problem are now the ones defending their decision to work with the Americans to come and bomb Nigeria. I don't know if you have something to say about that. And Shegumi is also out there speaking and putting pressure on the government, saying that instead of getting the Americans involved in anything in Nigeria, they should instead go to Pakistan and Turkey and get them to be part of that. There's so many angles to this. So take it from wherever you feel you should and touch on these topics.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Rudolph. More nice to see you again. Although I know our program stopped abruptly. Don't worry, I'll go have here. We all just take
okay. It's,
here.
it's okay.
Thank you,
Thank you.
thank you very much, and Merry Christmas. Actually, you know this. Somebody said what America did is the best Christmas gift ever in modern times to Nigeria, and I agree. But the thing is, when Peter Obi said yes, he welcomed America to intervene, and people, anything Peter Obi, if you can't attack Nnamdi Kano, you attribute anything to IPOB. If not IPOB, Biafra. If you fail Biafra, you bring in Peter Obi. It's all the same. What Peter Obi said and what Obasanjo said, is there any difference? Obasanjo, as a former leader and a respected statesman internationally, he said, we are being killed, whether Christian or Muslim, whether north or south, east or west, big or small. We are being killed. And our government seem incapable of doing anything. He now followed up by saying, we are members of the international community. Why can't we cry out, seek help from the international community? That's what Obasanjo said. Is that different from what Peter Obi is saying? But because Peter Obi is Igbo, everybody will jump, and then look at Bayo Ononoga, can't even respect his age. He jumped in and said started to become a spokesman of the whole entire nation. Nigerians will never forgive Peter Obi for welcoming America. Last week, somebody called Jide came here to come and twist facts. He said Peter Obi supported America to come and bomb Nigeria. He's bombing terrorists, not Nigeria. My village is intact. Trump is not bombing my village. So on the choice of Sokoto, and they know America has intelligence. They thought America is a country you can deceive. They know where the terrorists are. Don't be surprised. They may be within the Sultan's compound. They may hide them there, just like Hamas will be using a tunnel to smuggle weapons, or they go and bomb Israel from a nursery school. They will use the school playground to bomb Israel. Then when Israel return fire, they say Israel is killing school children. Who are they? Do they think America is a third world country? Anyway, what I will always say is, if not America, if not Trump and Netanyahu, who will do the job? So I thank most sincerely the president, government, and the people of United States, led by Donald Trump, for visiting jungle justice on the notorious ISIS camp in Sokoto, the inglorious seat of the caliphate. I also thank most sincerely the Prime Minister, the government, and the great people of Israel, ably led by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, for providing a perfect intelligence on which President Trump acted with deadly accuracy. Nobody can dispute that. You see, like late Abraham Lincoln said when he became the president of United States in 1861 at the age of 60. He said God created him, or God brought him into this world for a purpose. I also believe that God brought Donald Trump and Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu into this world for a purpose. And that purpose must be to liberate the long-suffering Nigerians from the shackles of the evil, wicked, and anachronistic Fulani irredentism and civilization. So I ask again, if not Donald Trump, if not Benjamin Benjamin Netanyahu, who will do it. Before some people will jump and start to be in the refugee camp for 1 week. But some people have been in refugee camp for years in the Middle Belt. Try and be in the refugee camp, or maybe in Nigeria, try and go to police cell and be in the police cell for 4 days. Every day, I bet you, your mind will be going to your bedroom. You say, look at where I am. I should have been relaxing in my house, watching football. But some people, a family, many families, they've been in refugee camp. Who will rescue them? If not America, who? If not Trump, who will do it? If not Netanyahu speaking, can you do it? And people are coming here to moralize. Let me now end like this. I read, history taught me that America bombed Japan. 2 cities, Nagasaki and Hiroshima. That was 1945. The type of bomb I'm recommending for America to use now is the one higher than that one. Such that for the next 1 billion years, not even a grass will ever grow in that area, anywhere the terrorists are. For God's sake, Nigeria is a third world.
Where do you want America to drop that bomb to? Where in Nigeria?
Anywhere this ISIS. Do you know that there are more than 10 terror groups operating in Nigeria?
80.
ISIS, ISWAP, Boko Haram. It's how many?
80.
How many?
80.
Can you imagine? Can you
So
imagine? So I want anywhere, yes, anywhere there are terrorists, please, America. In fact, I want it to be higher than that of Iraq, because Nigeria is like is a hopeless case.
Yeah, don't you know that if they drop one in Sokoto, that your friend Nnamdi Kanu will not be safe?
He'll be hiding.
See, no. Let me tell you, Nnamdi Kanu is in prison. America cannot go and drop it in prison. That is one thing. Nnamdi Kanu is in prison. America cannot go and drop there. And maybe that is why they want to use him as a shield if he drops this thing, whatever it is. I know, I trust America. They have their intelligence. They know who they're looking for. When I was in US, Pete Hegseth, the Secretary of War, in fact, that was when they changed American Department of Defense to Department of War. When I was there, I heard the man say that they are going to Nigeria, not to chase the terrorists away, but to eliminate them, and they have their list. So, if you permit me, I will volunteer. Haven't seen the list, but I know it must contain Gumi. It must contain Rebadu. It must contain El-Rufai, Atiku, what is it called, General Guzo. Because Nigeria is such a country that their national security advisor is the envoy of terrorism to Tinubu's government. How can Tinubu sit down and be having intelligence meeting with the national security advisor? But the national security advisor is the person that arms the terrorists. Is it possible? I mean, can you imagine that? Is it possible?
Yeah.
How can America share intelligence with such people? So to me, this is the best Christmas I've witnessed. This is the best time to be alive. This thing must end. This nonsense must end. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Talking about best time to be alive, 2026 obviously will be a very politically charged period for all of us in Nigeria and Africa. All right, let's welcome Righteous Man to the show. Righteous Man, welcome. You are next. You're in Nigeria. I think you are in the southeast. So, is that from you, Righteous Man? We're hearing feedback. I think it's from you. All right. So let's quickly hear your view on what we're talking about.
Can I? Your volume, your voice is very low.
Not from here, obviously. I think it's from your end.
Okay. You were asking me a question.
Yeah, I want to know your view on what we're discussing, and especially how people in Nigeria, they're viewing these stories that we outside the country are looking at from far. What is the perspective of Nigerians?
Well, to everyone that is in the studio, in the platform, I greet all of you. I'm relaxing myself here in the southeast. I think it's three weeks now, taking my palm wine, fresh palm wine, from the natural tree, you know. Nobody is hustling and bustling me like Lagos. I'm having peace of mind here, going 10 p.m., 12 a.m., we're on the street, you know, nobody is harassing us. Just like I've been informing you, the insecurity in the Southeast is political. It's purely political. If there be anything like taking away people's life, it's purely political. Somebody is behind it. It's not that the people just woke up and take arms and start taking their lives. No, it's political, purely. There is pure peace in the Southeast. I can tell you that. Take it to the bank. I've gone to Abia State, Enugu, Ebonyi, Imo, and Anambra State. There was no cause for alarm. I've been to Delta, I've been to Port Harcourt, which is River State. There are no crisis, nothing. Everywhere is peaceful. The only thing you meet on the road is those on uniform that are collecting money from people. That's the only thing you see. But I think the people of the Southeast and South-South are living peacefully and doing their normal businesses, you know. So, but one thing that is surprising is the level of cultism that is existing in the Southeast. In few years to come, if this issue is not brought to the front burner to be discussed, it is going to cause a very grievous thing in the Southeast. Almost 75 to 80% of the youths in the Southeast belong to one secret cult or the other. I am telling you, by my findings, interaction, meeting with people, the level of involvement in cultism is going to explode in few years to come if it's not arrested now. And then I am very, very, will I say, let me make a choice of words in expressing the bombing in Sokoto. Personally, me, I've been waiting to see a pictorial evidence where that bomb took place, and then the so-called terrorists or the targeted terrorists eliminated. As of today, I've been checking the media space. I've not been able to see any pictorial evidence that shows that those striking really got to the targeted people. The only picture I have seen or footage was where the local people were dragging the unexploded or exploded, but I don't know. These people that Iron condemned, they were dragging to maybe to pieces it and sell. That is the only pictorial evidence. And when the American warship released the Tomahawk bomb, but where it landed and the people it got, there is no pictorial evidence as of today that I have come across, you know. So I still have my reservation if that strike was in futility, because when you say you struck the enemy, there should be evidences to show that you got your target. Where there is no evidences, somebody like me, I will have my reservations about it. Hold on, now you gave Sim more time now. Why are you cutting me off? Okay, I can decide to go off, no problem. So that is the superpower of America. You guys are there, so you can treat me that is in the third world anyhow. There's no problem. Yes. It's a platform, you can decide to treat me anyhow you like. You know, there's no problem.
I will show you the time now you spend. But
justice for one man. For righteous man. Justice for righteous man, doctor.
So let me round up. When that bombing took place, majority of Southerners, let me say almost 95% of Southerners rejoiced over it. But we've not been shown any evidence that the targeted enemies were struck. There is no proof up to today. The superpower America have not been able to convince the world and convince the poor Nigerians, that the bomb they released got to the enemy's camp. We are just hearing stories. So that is just how I want to leave it. But Dr. Rudolph Damages, I am pleading to you and to the members of this panel. Nigerians are suffering. In each of the states I visited, the level of poverty and suffering is unimaginable. In fact, Lagos is like a paradise. The poverty in Lagos is like one living in a paradise. Compared to what I have seen in the states in the south here I visited, is alarming. If you have parents or friends in Nigeria, in the southeast or south-south, please endeavor to help them. Nigerians are dying in poverty here. Seriously, it's alarming. No health care, no light, no electricity, no water, nothing. Nothing is actually working here. It's just that the people have learned how to manage their lives and just pretend as if all is well. So that's just my submission. Thank you very much.
Righteous man, do you have light and water and everything in Lagos?
The compound where I'm living in Lagos, I have borehole, and from time to time, NEPA supplies us light, you know. But here in the east, I've been here for 3 weeks now. Tomorrow we make it 3 weeks. There is no second of electricity that have just showed up and then disappeared. There's nothing like that. For 3 weeks.
What about water? What about water? How do you get water where you are?
No, the hotel where I am, there is 24 hours water, and it's not supplied by the government. It's the owner of the hotel that drilled a borehole to service his customers.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Right. So, Rudolph, one thing he said we should just take note of is the popping up of cults in the southeast. This is something that should be studied by universities and find out why. I have the opportunity to study it here in the US. They're not called cults, they're called something else. So I think we've lost out on rite of passage for young men. It's something that we had in the old days. That's something we need to bring back and see how we can have the young men pass into adulthood in a responsible way and also have them in groups. Being in a cult is not a bad thing. Most religious groups are cults. What we're looking for, what are you doing with the cult? How is the cult being of benefit to you and to your family? So that's something we can look at down the road. But it's a very good thing that he raised, and I think it shouldn't be swept away. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Moore. If you remember when we had Professor Denkalo Chidi, a lot of people challenged him on this platform when he talked about the problem in the East as cults. Talking about all these cults that came out of universities, and now in every village and town, they have those people in those cults. So he talked about that. I think that may be what Righteous Man is touching on. All right, let's continue. Welcome, Gidi. Gidi, welcome to the show.
Yeah, good morning. I'm in France. Good evening. I'm Dr. Rudolph.
Yeah.
Yes, and good morning all, Mr. Mo. First of all, rite of passage is getting a job, and there are no jobs. So basically, young people are coming out. If you're in a Cotton University, you come out, what are you going to do? So that is the real issue. The reason why I'm here is more or less it also relates to the work I do. I listened to CM and said, we don't have the technology, we don't have any information. So the help from America is something that we're looking forward to, that is helping the country. But we do have the technology. We have something called Falcon Eye that they used, that was implemented in 2022. And the reason why I know about that technology is because I'm doing something else in another country. And it surveils the maritime environment using remote sensors, satellites, AIS, that's transponders, across the ocean within Nigeria. And you don't have any piracy there. And if you want to look at it, it actually was built by an Israeli company. It's based in Abuja. And I will give you the website details so you can check it out. And we're copying that in another country that's very advanced. So Nigeria has the technology. they actually have the technology, because you don't have any piracy again in the coast, in what we call the Nigerian exclusive zone. So they have the technology, but the issue here is why they're not using it. And nobody in Nigeria, we don't ask those questions. That's the first thing. Second of all, what is next? When I look at an issue, I ask, what is the end goal? What happens after? People need to look at that first. We are looking at what's going on in Somaliland, where they've created a new country there, Somaliland, and we know that will have an impact on Africa. We look at what's happening in Venezuela. So what happens after? Nigeria needs to start asking that question. Why have we got to this stage? And what happens next? It's gone for 15 years since 2009. We now have terrorists that are embedded. We know it's political. We also know that's the reason why Malami has been locked up, is that Nigerian politicians, especially in the North, use insecurity as a way of weakening the government in power. We saw it under Goodluck Jonathan. Tinubu was part of it. We're now seeing it against him. So I think what are going to be the consequences? 2026 is going to be very difficult for Nigeria. The Americans are not going to do anything. At the end of the day, Nigeria is going to be in a very difficult situation. We're going to the election. You're going to have a lot of insecurity, and then you're on your own to solve that problem out. So first, you've got the technology. You're not using it. It's called Falcon Eye. Go and check it out. Falcon Eye, Nigeria. You see it. It's there. It works. Other countries are copying. I'm talking about other countries. I'm talking about United Kingdom. They copied. They're using that. And you have a situation where after this event, and I support looking for help, but why didn't the American embed themselves within the Nigerian army and supply them with the resources to solve this problem? Why does it have to be them doing it? The reason being is that they're trying to impose themselves on the country. Nigeria is now at a crossroad. I don't think it will survive this, honestly, because we're going to an election where a lot of people are poor, the country's broke, and immediately after this, you will now see a reaction. That reaction is going to come from people, because it's not going to work. It's just not going to work. And just one point is that the guidance system that they found in Sokoto, they're just guidance systems from the Tomahawk. So they know where they landed. They landed on empty ground. So it was found that they found the guidance system built in 2027 from Tomahawk. So we actually know that they used Tomahawk guidance system. They just landed on empty grounds. As long as the Americans are not going to come onto the ground, all it's just going to happen is they're going to bomb some towns, some villages. They're going to conclude that they've done some work for us. We're going to try and do something else after. And at the end of the day, we're going to be left in a very negative situation. So the end goal is, what happens next? Let's ask that question. What happens next? And I think Nigeria should be asking that question, because America is not there to help us. It's their own interest. They don't care about the Christians. They don't even want us in their country. So what happens next? That's where we should be asking. That's the question we're asking. Thank you very much for giving me at least 5 minutes.
And thank you, Gidi. I have one more question for you. Here in the US, beginning to question why Nigeria, why did they drop this bomb in Nigeria? What is America doing? More than anything else, they're paying attention. It's on the front page of newspapers here. Wall Street Journal, every paper reported what happened, because the picture of their own bomb is out there. So I'm trying to find out, French people, this relationship between our president, Tinubu, and Macron, or maybe, do they feel, what do they think about that, about this new friendship with Nigeria? Do they?
Well, first and foremost, I'm not French. I come from England. I'm living in France. I've got family here for the holiday. I'm going back next week.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but one thing there is that we all know that Tinubu is a businessman. Chagori family is in France, and he's like the business engagement. Tinubu is running a business. His job is a business, you understand? And let's be frank, if we had politicians from the opposition that were very professional, they should be looking at this as in government coming together to solve this problem. But everybody's out there looking for their own interests. And that's one of the reasons why, when I look at Tinubu, I do agree with some of his policies. You need those kind of policies, removing taxes. But he's a businessman. He has to make money. The other guys are here to make money. It's a business. And that's where Nigeria is. And I think at the end of the day, he comes to France to come and work with the Chagori, and that road that they're building, that is more or less just like Lagos, where they're going to be collecting money for another 50 years. So I think nothing good is going to come out of this government in the long run. I know that, because you don't need a rocket science to know that. They are not going to take out these terrorists because they don't want to, because he wants to win the next election. That's my opinion. The technology is there. And I'll be frank with you, the reason why I can tell you technology, because I work on that similar technology. Built by a Israeli guy, we copied it You can use that same maritime technology that you survey the whole, you can use it within Nigeria itself. You use satellite, you got 6 of them, and use radars, X-rays. Exactly what they have is what we're building here in UK, everything. That's what they're building. So if we're using the same satellite to monitor our own a more advanced country like in UK, why are they not doing that in Nigeria? It costs only £224 million. It was done by Buhari's government. It's because they don't want to, and because there are people that have investment in it, and that's it. So that's why you have all the. So bringing America to come and solve a problem that the Nigerian government can solve, can easily solve. And I want to advise you to go to the website. Let me read it out for you. If you want to go and check it out. Go to rtc-ltd.com, and it's their operation intelligence, and that is on the maritime. The same thing we use on site. So it just basically highlights that they don't have they have the technology. It's remote. We call it remote sensing. They have the technology.
Rudolph, let me also add a footnote to what Mr. Giddy, and thank you so much, Mr. Giddy, for this. It's something that we actually mentioned on one of Mr. Fofather's shows about how technology is the bedrock of how to fight insurgency, not even just having boots on the ground as it is. There's a lot of other technologies in addition to the one Mr. Giddy mentioned, but we're just not a serious nation. Again, America is not going to help. Each of those missiles cost a lot of money.
Yeah, but they will do, and they don't have enough of it because
they don't have enough of it. They're struggling. They're
struggling. Give up. So we're on our own at the end of the day. So, and it just tells you that why Nigeria is the way it is, because they keep on going looking for someone to solve problems that they know they can solve, but they don't want to. So it's just political from my point of view. And so, as I said before, I think Nigerians should be pushing that. Why are you not using what you use to protect your oil wells that are ships going out? And you can monitor them. Why are you not using that against the terrorists that you can actually sense them? It actually uses X-ray too to actually identify the body. They have that there. So I'm just flabbergasted when people say we don't have the technology when we know what they have.
And then
we know the
triangulation and heat maps and stuff. Yeah.
Heat maps, triangulation, but also satellites and what we call air transponders. You have them on ground in the country, so they have the technology. It's there. It's not rocket science. And I say this openly because I work on these things. I actually do this AI on top of it. I actually do it for Border Force in UK. So I'm just to be frank. So just to be clear that I know they have that, and we copied it from Nigeria and use it in United Kingdom. So if we're copying what Nigeria is using, and we're using it extensively in UK, and Nigeria says we can't discover, they don't know where they're going, because they don't want to. So nobody's going to fix the problem. America's not going to fix it. It's going to be worse because you're going to have a reaction. Those terrorists, once the Americans go, they will come back and carry out more damage. One of the good things that Tinubu has done is given the job to Christopher Musa. For me, that to me is one of the few things that I felt that he's done right, because you're giving somebody that has experienced terrorism in his family, and maybe he will be prepared to fight it. That is, because there's just so many rubbish in Tinubu's government. The kind of guys that put in security are just not up to it. They're not interested. They're politicians. But that is one of the few things he's done. I think he needs to replace that NSA man, because I feel that he's just another politician there. He's not up to the job. For the last 2 years, always telling us a different story. He needs to be replaced. I think that's where we need to be fighting for. And I think that's where, and the point you made about Peter Obi saying that, and Obasanjo saying that they welcome intervention. I welcome intervention. I do. I'm not a fool. I welcome intervention because you gain a lot of knowledge from other people. But I welcome intervention not the way it's going. I welcome intervention where they coming to work with the Nigerian government in Nigeria so that they can build knowledge and do it themselves. Or you can actually identify that they don't want to do the job in the first place, and you can call it out. That's the intervention I want, not somebody coming from outside and just bombing just to show that I've done something and I'm going to go away. Then what happens next? Please. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Gide. So the defense minister, Nigeria's own foreign affairs minister, said that the decision on whether American troops should be allowed into Nigeria to help will be determined by Nigeria's defense minister. Forefathers, welcome to the show. I'm sure you are enjoying these stories playing out in Nigeria. What is your take on the direction of things?
Greetings, Dr. Damages. Thank you for having me. And special greetings to Professor Mo. Thank you for joining us today. Greetings to all the panelists, and including the Draculas and the Van Helsings. It's all right, and the chat, and to the viewers. I think I would like to touch on the point Gilly made about why did America have to step in. You know, from my estimation, from what I'm finding, they spend almost from 37 to 60 something million dollars on the attack that they just did. And if you translate that to recruiting and arming soldiers, you could get up to 16,000 depending on how you arm them, or 9,000 depending on how you arm them. And if you send them to that area, they'll probably sweep that area better than throwing bombs and landing fields and all the rest. So it shows you that there's something that's going on. And the question is, what is Tinubu trading us for? Now he's gone to Europe again. You know, when he was running for election, I complained. I kept saying, this guy that keeps going to France and everything, you guys think he's going to govern for you. He's not governing for you. And this is what our leaders do. They are not governing for the people. They are governing for outsiders. They are doing exactly what they want them to do. And if we think we are going to get away with it, whether you're happy or not, you are basically trading you like the way they are trading our people in slave trade. According to one Ghanaian, which is very interesting, I saw a video a Ghanaian made today. He said, well, the colonization period has not ended. That since we are still in Berlin, this is that Berlin conference, and he talked about how they are trying to break up this is Somaliland and all the rest of it. Nothing has changed. The whole equation still remains the same. And the way Nigerians are reacting, thinking that these people are coming to save, they are not there to save you. They're just there to figure out how to oppress you even more and use you against whatever enemy that they have out there. If they wanted to help you all this while that we have been friends for almost, how many years we've been friends with America? 60 years or so. If they wanted to help Nigeria, they will give Nigeria the money, make sure they recruit people, arm them to go and take care of that thing. America knows how to help you. If they want to help, they know how to help. They helped Japan build again. They helped South Korea build again. Taiwan, they help Israel all the time. If America wants to help you, they will help you. They are not there to help us. And the fact that after all this suffering Nigerians have faced, some people still have faith in them. I don't know what to tell you. You know, you have faith in the people that destroyed your kingdoms, colonized you, enslaved your people, treating Black Americans terribly in that country today, and you still support them. Maybe you should ask yourself what your forefathers will be thinking of you when you do that kind of stuff. But on the balance of things, I really think that maybe it's a good thing Trump, what he's doing is happening now, because he removes all that smoke screen that the Democrats always put. Now we are beginning to see the raw face of the world. It's beginning to show itself, so that we can actually wake up to our responsibilities. The idea, this is nothing. When I say we need to recruit people on the field, the idea that technology decides everything, the most advanced technology you have in the entire universe is human beings. Let me repeat that again. The most advanced technology you have in this universe that you know of are human beings. And we have them in spades in Nigeria, and we refuse to use them. If you think technology didn't matter, why did Israel bomb Gaza for straight 2 years with the most advanced technology, more than 6 times the explosive power of the Hiroshima nuclear weapon, and Hamas is still standing? But technology has its limits. Sooner or later, you need people to get in there. The territory Israel holds right now that Hamas cannot operate in is because their soldiers are standing right there. They put that yellow barrier and let Hamas come through now. Come, let's see how it's going to work out for you. Because human beings are more intelligent than technologies. Let's learn the real lessons of the world. Egypt used to have similar problem. Algeria used to have similar problem. Why did that Algeria have 2 to 3 times more soldiers than Nigeria does when they are just about 30 million people? How can they afford it? Man, the answer is right there. If you are serious, you're going to find it. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. This is the shortest I've seen for fathers respond to anything more. Anything you are thinking about as we go along? I think I see.
No, just something that 3 people have mentioned. 3 people have mentioned Somaliland with Netanyahu. So I'm just thinking, Netanyahu did that for a reason. You don't have to look too far to get to the White House, right? Now, think of Congresswoman Ilhan Abdullahi Omar. We're having battle with Trump. And then, out of nowhere, Netanyahu recognizes Somaliland. Somaliland, of course, is the other part of Somalia, where Ilhan comes from Mogadishu, so she's from Somalia. So now this pops up. Let's just think about it. We talk about Kemi Badenoch. We talk about other people who have diasporans, who are in government in America and UK and other places. I mean to think that somebody sometime might write a PhD thesis on the impact of diasporans on Nigerian politics. By the way, like I'm saying, the beer parlor thing comes up that Trump bombed Sokoto because Nnamdi Kanu is in this prison there. So sometimes you gotta put these together and wonder how all of a sudden on the 26th of December, Netanyahu wakes up to recognize Republic of Somaliland. It's not a bad thing to have Republic of Somaliland. After all, it's bigger than Burundi and Rwanda combined. And it's bigger than most countries in Europe, like Liechtenstein, Luxembourg. So we shouldn't panic. If it's going to bring peace to that place, fine. Eritrea, or rather Ethiopia, made a mistake of fighting Eritrea for this long and ended up losing any access to the Red Sea. So Somalis still have access to the Red Sea. They could let Somaliland be, and they have peace in that region. So for those who are worried that it's going to breed problem in Africa, I do not share that opinion. If Somaliland has to be, let it be. And down the line, we'll have to start thinking about our own country. If we have been together for all these years and nothing is working,
I agree.
What are other options? Yeah. Okay. So that's just something to throw out there before I forget. I'm getting old.
All right, thank you. Anna Electrical will be the final person that will weigh in on this, and then I'll give people a chance to weigh in on the Somaliland situation, because there are other aspects of it. You know, if Netanyahu will be the one that will now recognize that country, and then what happens if another country wakes up tomorrow and say they are recognizing Yoruba nation in Nigeria? What does that mean? But let's listen to somebody who is excited about what Trump did, and then hear from Anna Electrical before we move on.
For the first time in nearly 20 years, the persecutors are smelling. The Holy Ghost called for a 7 midnight prayer raid. We are part of it, and the result is here today. Amen. And it's just beginning. All those who make others to mourn, they will mourn. All those who slaughter the children of others, their own will be slaughtered. All those who destroy the parents of others, they will not survive. They will not survive. Judgment has begun. Judgment has begun. God told me, I have heard you and I have stepped in. How many can see that God has stepped in? How many can see that God has stepped in? Shall we rise? Fire is burning. Judgment has landed. Give God thanks. For the first time, the persecutor is now becoming the persecuted. Give God thanks for stepping in, as he said. Nigeria will not be the same anymore. Islamization agenda is slaughter, never to rise again. Give God thanks. We owe God thanks, everybody. We owe God thanks. We owe God thanks. I said with very loud sound of the trumpet.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. We are going to get the opinion of Anne Lechuku and the flagship, and then we move on to the next topic, which will be Somaliland.
By the way, Rudolph, what else did God tell this preacher?
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, just one incident, and God revealed all these things. That's a proof. What if? Anyway, that's something else to talk about. But Anne Lechuku, welcome to the show.
Hi. Good afternoon, everybody.
Hi.
Mo, I guess maybe he might be saying you might be the next president of Nigeria. Perhaps.
You don't wish me well, man. Don't make I die.
And Soju will be your chief of staff because he's going to do a lot. All right. Thank you, everybody. My 2025 is rounding up, and there was a Christmas gift. Incidentally, it came in ways people do not expect. Righteous man that was saying he hasn't seen evidence. I guess he's one of us who are disciples of St. Thomas. We see to believe. I hope that the journalists in Nigeria should do their work, and at least this happened in their background. They don't need visas to come go see where it happened, and they should give pictures and let Nigerians know what happened. I want to look at this thing from this perspective of letting Nigerians be intentional. The challenge we have as a country is that sycophancy and unpatriotism has taken a toll, that most of the things that happen that shouldn't happen, we allow to happen. A whole lot of times we keep blaming the West, we keep blaming America, we keep blaming Britain from bringing Nigeria together. My thing is, UK has brought Nigeria and created the entity called Nigeria. They have done their part. 60, 65 years after, what have we done with what they did? Okay. If they created something and it is not good, can't we recreate it? Okay. Why do we keep blaming somebody who has done something 65 years ago? I think it's dishonesty and laziness. Let's really wake up and be more realistic. Nothing is wrong with Nigeria. Absolutely nothing. Neither is there things wrong with the African man, nothing. But it's just that we allow the worst of us to lead us. That's why we all have all these issues. We're talking about them every now and then. We're discussing the same thing again and again because the idiot will do what the idiot will do. It's just the truth. Now, we say America will not help us. Why will you expect America to help you? Can't you help yourself? That's the question. Can't we help ourselves? Who are creating these problems in Nigeria? Nigerians. These are our brothers, our sisters, our friends, our associates. People will know. Can't we deal with these situations instead of allowing somebody else to come from somewhere to help us? It is even a credit that America is stepping up to use resources and technology they have created to help themselves to come to help us. They struck on Christmas Day. Why is it that our military couldn't have done this? People come smuggling arms, and we keep blaming Libya, blaming other countries. That's where these arms are coming from. They smuggle them in. Don't you have customs service? Don't we have immigration? What are the military doing? They smuggled it, but we can enter into an arms deal legitimately with France, legitimately with Israel, legitimately with America, with Britain, even China, to get the arms legitimately. So why can't we deal with the people who smuggle these things in trickles at the end of the day? I want to appeal to Nigerians. Let's stop blaming. It makes no sense. Every now and then we talk about what the West did, the plans they have, their interest. Why wouldn't they have an interest? What is wrong in us having our own interest as well? Question is, if the West have their interest, what is our interest? Our interest is to allow people come to plunder us. So why can't we put our house in order so that that person who will come to plunder will see that there is no way to come in to plunder? Now, America is striking. Benjamin is seeing over there, the younger brother of Trump is saying, hey, we can come in as well. That's actually what he has said. He can come in, right? So why will he come in? Because we allow rats to infest our homes. That's why python can come, cats can come in. So why don't we sanitize our house and take the rats away? It's possible. We can do that. You know, so I want to ask Nigerians, it doesn't matter where you are. There was a moment I kind of like think about it. When Ramaphosa came to visit Trump at the White House, he came with, you know, a bunch of blacks and a bunch of white South Africans. They came. In that meeting, one of the white South Africans was appealed that Elon Musk should bring his technology to help them, to fight insecurity, and the challenges that they have. And in that moment, Trump said this, and it's instructive. He said, Elon Musk is from there. He said it in the presence of the South Africans, black and white, and their president, Elon Musk, who helped Trump to become president. He's an American, yes. But Trump said he's from there. And for me, that should be instructive for every Nigerian, irrespective of where you are. Whether you live in America here, or you live in UK, or you live in France, or you live in Germany, or you live anywhere in the world. Elon Musk is from there. Elon Musk lives in America. They needed America. They are appealing for Elon Musk to help them. And Trump said Elon Musk is from there, despite that he's an American. That should be food for thought for every Nigerian. It doesn't matter where you live. When we discuss, when we can persuade people, we can persuade here and back home. Let the message be, let's build our home. It's possible. It's not rocket science. And for people who always talk about America is coming to destroy, they destroy Afghanistan, they destroy Iran, they destroy Iraq, they destroy all the places. All you keep hearing is the places, including Libya, the places where there are Islamic fundamentalists, extremists. Now, when you say these places, they destroy, please mention Germany. America is in Germany. Their largest military base outside of America is in Germany. They are in almost all the EU states. They are in Japan, they are in South Korea. These economies, these countries are far more developed than Nigeria. So if America could be there, that means they help them build their economy. So if they are coming to Nigeria, why don't we think of how they have helped Germany or what made them do these other countries better, including Saudi Arabia? But incidentally, there are no extremism over there. So let us stop giving examples of useless countries that Islamic fundamentalists have destroyed, and you keep blaming America for that. If America needs to come to help Nigeria reshape our military, then let them come. If I need to go do that, I will help do.
Thank you. Explain Ukraine.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Anne Lechuku. If I'm permitted 30 seconds, I will advise that you should be coming to this program every week, particularly in the midnight UK time. You come and counter propaganda. What takes place here in the midnight is useless propaganda. Like they will always tell you America will bomb you and bomb you. Look at Germany. Germany is the strongest economy in Europe, and number 4, number 5 in the world, or number 3. Look at Japan.
America's largest base in Europe is in Germany.
In Germany, but they will come here. You know, they thought that we are Almajiri, the way they deceive Nigerians. That's what they turned this place to. Propaganda platform in the midnight. Thank you.
All right.
I just said America cannot help Nigeria. Reason being is his culture. Nigeria's culture, compared to what you have in Europe, is quite different.
No, Giddy, Giddy,
different.
the way, hold on, let me come in there. The way America can help Nigeria is when good heads like you chase the bad heads that are leading Nigeria is in place. And that's what you and I can do. That's what they will do.
All right. Thank you, Annie Electrical. Let's move on. The flagship. Welcome.
Thank you, Rudolph, and good morning to everybody here on the panel and compliments of the season.
Thank you.
I want to say thanks again to forgive me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your submission. I read a tweet from the Minister of Aviation yesterday, I think. And in his tweet, he said, it would be foolish for a man whose house is burning down to sit down and be talking logic, reasoning, and policies, and try to challenge his neighbor or a friend or someone down the street that has a fire extinguisher to put out that flame to save his home. And I responded back to him, even though as much as I criticize him, that's some truth, live truth that he has said. You see, our nation, Nigeria, has been long due for a reset button. And since we have failed to push that reset button, I don't think it's out of place if someone else comes to do it for us. We did it to Benin Republic not long ago. So for those of us who think that the America's intervention is here to do us bad when we have been sitting down and counting bodies almost every day, is sickening to imagine. If for anything, or take out resources that a lot of these propagandists are talking about, if you are not tired of seeing blood on the streets in Nigeria, innocent blood, kids, pregnant women cut open with babies taken out of their wombs, mutilated bodies on the street of people that are defenseless, if you are not tired of it, the folks in the West are tired of it. And something has to be done, because if you keep quiet, it's only a matter of time. And that kind of way of life might begin to penetrate into their own societies. And they will not allow that. You saw what happened in Australia not long ago. If you put Rudolph in a boxing ring with Anthony Joshua, and you tie Rudolph's hand to his back, and maybe tie him to one end of the ring, and ring the bell, and ask him to fight Anthony Joshua, I think it'll be a stupid match to see people cheer and feel good and talk about boxing rules and policies while Rudolph is being...
Wait, the flagship. How much are they paying me for this fight?
Not a shishi.
I'm telling you, nothing at all. Yeah, we are quick to compare Israel and Gaza and Palestine, but we forget to know that those folks had a chance to fight. They had support from other people. The average Nigerians that are being massacred on a daily basis that we all see on our screens, here on our radio stations, are defenseless. I don't care what religion or side they belong to. They are defenseless. They can't fight. They don't have nothing to defend themselves with. So if Trump and the US decide to come in and throw bombs on our land, forget that it landed on a field somewhere. Let that be a warning sign to those who are perpetrating this nonsense. It's a single tweet that sent the entire nation and its presidency and every part of it scrambling like rats running out of holes. Let them come do it for us. We need to have a reset and then come back to the table and talk about what the gentleman Giddy said, which I share his one of his submissions. the conversation of what next happens. That's where you and I need to be. We ought to be talking about how to be involved in that conversation so we can shape the future of our country, if at all we want to make it a country or a nation. And if we choose not to make it a nation, let's go our separate ways. Many other nations are doing it. And they're peaceful. The EU is called EU for a reason. The US is called the US for a reason. The Emirates in the Middle East is called the same for a reason. But there's one common word amongst all of them, though different countries, but they're all united. They don't have to be having the same government or do things the same way, but they are united. So if we have to split to live peacefully but still work together, let's make that happen. And lastly, for those of us that are thinking that our resources is what the US and the rest of the Western world are looking at and we want to live with for the rest of their lives, newsflash, it's not. As you and I speak, they are looking way beyond that. You think it's your rare earth metal that they just found in Kwara State, or the gold in Zamfara, or the Congo. The conversation has elevated beyond that. 3 weeks ago, Jeff Bezos started a conversation. They're going out of space to get rare earth metals that are 1 million times more effective than what they're looking for in other countries. And they've started work on how to begin the move out there to go get them and bring them here. 20 years ago, you and I couldn't do this that we're doing now, talk on a computer screen. Apple has been on for how long? But it's evolved and it's changing. So if you think your oil and your rare earth metals and gold around your small countries, what they're looking for to survive for the next 50, maybe 100 years, you are way, way behind. As we speak, this AI thing that they're talking about has taken over every aspect of humanity. Right now, there's a debate ongoing that planet Earth cannot house the data centers that they are hoping to put together to achieve this AI bubble thing that we're talking about. So right now it's space. They are going to space to build it. And that's where they want to house the data centers because Earth does not have enough power to power it. And you and I here talking about oil in the Niger Delta, gold in Zamfara, Kwara State rare earth metals that they just found. We are way, way behind, gentlemen and ladies. We need to start to think of how to get on board and have that conversation of what happens next. How can we be in that place where they talk about the future of mankind? 20 years is too far for them to take over and for your rare earth metals to be exhausted. And what happens after that? I'll end my submission there. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, the flagship. And I see Tony joined us a few minutes ago. Tony, I will bring you up. But before then, let me just point out something that the flagship mentioned about tomorrow, what's happening tomorrow, what's going to happen with AI and the new world that we're facing. I saw a tweet where Elon Musk was reacting to somebody talking about poverty. And he told the person that in years to come, there won't be poverty anymore, that there will be universal income. So this idea that when we frame our politics in terms of people coming to take resources out of Africa, that time is really passing so quickly. We don't see that. They are getting to the point where they are looking for, in most European countries now, people are going to be paid to do nothing. The question is, how will humanity evolve? Who will? Because there will be no need for that. There will be no jobs for people. You know, we have to prepare our minds for that. But we play the politics, the old politics of years past, and talking about oil, who has oil block and all those things. It's like 15, 20-year thinking. But if you think beyond that, 50 years from now, it will be totally different world. All right. Yeah, we get 2020. You came in late, but I will let that slide today. Once we say we are cutting off, we are cutting off. We move on to the next year. All right, Tony, that's the final say. Then we will take a break. When we come back, we review the year and pick our man and woman of the year. Go ahead, Tony. And Mo, I'll come to you after Tony to give us a summary.
Good afternoon, Doctor. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I came in late. The issue you raised is quite interesting. Let's see. Greetings to everybody on the platform and those who are viewing. Yes, with respect to Nigeria, I think I personally have lost hope in Nigeria. I used to have hope. I used to look up with optimism that somehow we'll get it right. But the events of the past few months, for me, have just told me that one has to be realistic. If you have people in a country who feel that it's okay for human beings to be slaughtered, and they feel that that's the kind of life they want to live, they want to be ruled by a certain. They have rules for a certain section of the people and a different one for some other people within the same country. And they are not ready to face the reality that is staring them in the face. So I think the best thing is you don't force anybody to remain with you and take that rubbish or that nonsense. So for me, what I see is let those who want insurgency, those who want Sharia, those who want killings, those who want that kind of atmosphere, live with it. And let those who don't want it go their own way. Because that's democracy. But you can't compel people to stay within that kind of environment and suppress them. And you will not let them express themselves and we believe we're in the same country. No, that's not a country. I mean, it just reflects the thing that Chinua Achebe wrote in his book, There Was a Country. If you look back many years ago, Professor Wole Soyinka said that this is a wasted generation. And I think he was right to describe this generation as wasted. The reality on the ground is the issues that Nigeria is facing today are quite clear to everybody. We know the reasons, we know the problem, and yet we are not ready to confront it. And you can't continue to do the same wrong thing and expect a different result. So I think I think that we have come to a stage where we would say, listen, we have to renegotiate this entire concept of nationhood. After all, if you go from 1914 to now, the whole agreement, the basis that brought the amalgamation has expired. So it's time for us to really sit down and say, listen, we have run this thing for 100 years plus, and we're not sure this is where we're supposed to be, because the countries that we were once ahead of are far moved on ahead of us. This is not where Nigeria should be. And there's no one who's going to tell me that if even on this panel, sometimes when you listen to the discussions that we hold concerning Nigeria, or you go elsewhere and you listen to the kind of things that people spew on the platform, there's really no basis for us to continue to stay and to live as one. It's an illusion that we can never be as one. We have not been able to manage our diversity in religion, in ethnicity, and even in terms of the endowments, natural endowments that God has given to us. We have not. We have not. I can have resources that God has given to me on my land. I can't enjoy it. My land is polluted. My water is polluted. I cannot fish. I can't even to have a luxury of an oil well I can't get, but someone else who is from somewhere else is getting it. The VAT is going somewhere else. And I live in an environment where there's total darkness, and right over there, just across, there's light that never fails all over. What kind of country is that? There's no basis for us to say that we're one. If I cannot be in a country, I can't in a country where they will tell me because of my ethnicity, I can never be president. And they say it to my face.
And you say that is the country. You want me to go and join the military and go and fight for that nation? Never. It won't happen. So for me, I think that all these ones were just deluding ourselves. The point is that this is not a country. There's so many nations in Nigeria. It is time for us to sit down and say, who wants to go? Let the person go. And let everybody develop the way he wants. And let's see what happens. That's my submission. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Tony. I appreciate that. Before I get more in, let me mention that there's super chat from Show. Most of you know Show is an executive producer here, and he's appealing to people to support this platform. Next year is a very important year for Nigeria and very important year for Africa, especially in Nigeria. Most people have said, we always say this before any election, that this is the most important election in the history of the generation and whatever. But this one is really important because there are international angle to that, which we are beginning to see. And we are appealing to people we're as good as the people that come in here. We're as good as the support we have. We've been talking about things we wanted to do, get people on the ground to give us on-the-ground reports. They cost money, and we need support to be able to do those things. Even some of the guests that we've been trying to get, sometimes it's very stressful trying to get these people to come on the platform. We count on you. Any way you can help us, we appreciate that. So please consider end of year supports. On public radio, you hear them take out 2 days or 3 days in a week trying to appeal to people to help support the platform. We're not doing well. We have people who volunteer to come here and host. They don't get paid, and that's not good. We have people on the ground who are helping us, working on things. And so I don't like doing this. I wish I don't have to ever say this, pause the program to appeal to people to support. But if you can, please do. Again, thank you so much. Mo, can you summarize for us what has been...
It's very interesting, very eye-opening exchanges. The word analytic was trying to tell us is kakistocracy. We have the worst of us in power. The only way it could change is through elections, and we know what elections are in Nigeria. They're not reliable. But I have to warn all of us, even those in power, the senators and all that, as JFK said, those who make a peaceful revolution impossible, will make a revolution inevitable. And it's happening. The Sahel, they have all moved on to have military regimes. I'll tell you, I do not subscribe to violent change by any name. Okay, I don't subscribe to any particular system of government. As Alexander Pope said, for forms of government, let fools contest. What is best administered is best. But we don't have the best. I would just go to rule of the right, and I say every time we come in here, we talk about what is wrong with Nigeria. What is wrong with Nigeria? We have to start talking from next year. What can we do about it? Nigeria is a great country. Believe me, I love Nigeria. I don't want to go look for a visa to go to Kano or to Lagos. I like the oneness of Nigeria, but the fact is, it's not working. I said this 30 years ago. Nigeria as is unsustainable. And by the way, I didn't say that Biafra is untenable, but as was, okay? The fact is, we have to rethink our unity, not even unity, our association from 1900 until this. The country is not working. The country has potential. It's not wrong. Even during the war, people were not this hungry. The people that were getting relief materials were those in refugee camps, which is what we call now IDP. People who never left their country, they have chickens, they have food, they have everything in abundance. They were not disturbed by the war. So the fact is, how do we find ourselves in a place where you can't even go to the farm without having a herd of cows come in and just eat up everything? Rape people, kill people, kidnap people. It just cannot continue. We have to find a way to say enough is enough and then do something about it. I don't have all the answers, but everything we're saying today points to one thing and one thing only. With the situation we find ourselves in, it's not sustainable. We cannot sustain it. It is terrible. So as for America coming in, let's not delude ourselves. America is not going to solve our problem. I wish they will come. I wish they will come. As someone has given examples with Germany, Japan, and the rest of it. The war. That war should have helped us more than. How come to this day we're still buying bullets? When back in Biafra, they were manufacturing planes and flying planes with Volkswagen engine. What is wrong with us? Okay, we have steel, we have oil, we have everything, we have manpower, we have the brains. So if there's something has to give, they will call it restructuring, whatever that means. I believe that 2026, that's the year to think and see what we can do, what we can make out of this country. And Rudolph, please do not be coy about asking for this. And I tell you all this always. I don't know how you do it. You come here, you stay every Saturday, every Sunday. And well, you know my hero in all this setup is Edna. So it's not easy. So do not be abashed in asking people help. Okay, we can't let this die. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Dr. Moore. Let's take a break. When we come back, we review the year and pick man and woman of the year. And also, we will talk about Somaliland and what it means. So I'll leave you first with the video of Tinubu leaving Nigeria for Europe, which is, for those who may not know, it's a guarantee that America will not attack Nigeria in the next few weeks, because they won't attack Nigeria when the president is away. So if you are a terrorist, you should feel free to move around and attack you when the president is not there. I hope, but let's watch. All right. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Thank you so much for staying here and joining us. Those who are just joining us, welcome. I can see KJ. KJ, welcome to the show. This is the point where we now talk about the year in review. A lot of things happened, obviously, this year. Pope Francis died. Buhari died. There was peace in Congo, courtesy of Donald Trump. The war in Gaza ended, technically. So many things. So we're going to review all those things. But I will start with, I wish I can remember the sequence that people came in. I'll start with more in terms of what significant stories that happened in the last year to you. You can be international stories, African stories, or maybe you can pick one and Nigeria. So we go around, KJ will be next, and then we go around with everybody and pick the man of the year or the woman of the year as the final thing. More start.
Yeah, we have been so disappointed that I will start with something good. Well, as we all know, the good news is that Falcons women scored a victory for us in soccer in July by defeating Morocco. So that was, one of the top news of 2025. After that is down the hill. Starting from just a few days ago, December 25, we've trashed it, so to speak. The U.S. military involvement, that's something that we're not going to forget in a long while. It's another phase in the problems with Nigeria. But we've done that. Let's keep it. The news is still very scanty. Details are still very scanty. The second one is that the Nigerian population has peaked at 240 million, living two legs. Okay? So we're now the sixth most populous country in the world. Of course, nobody's counting the dead, but 240 million souls are still living in Nigeria. Don't forget the trial and jailing of Pops MNK and the shock of silence in the Southeast. It shocked many people that the Southeast didn't go blaze. That's because people don't even understand the Southeast and how they think and how they reason. So that came to pass, but also showed me the law will not pass. So that's something that will live for a very, very long time, just like Showa Mimo, who said when he jailed Awolowo that his hands are tied. So remember those things. So this one is going to live for a longer time. Another one is the 2-decade civil war that's going on to Nigeria in the Northeast and the blanket banditry in the Northwest. I call it blanket banditry because it's all over the place, all over the Northwest, down to Kaduna to Niger. So that is something that we're not going to forget in a rush. The worst cost of living in 30 years, they said 35% official inflation. I believe it's more than that. Unemployment, underemployment, devalued naira, fuel subsidy removal, or so they said, because we don't even know what is happening over there. As well with Farouk and the other guys who are removed, they are still importing fuel and paying subsidies. So far, Nigeria has been transformed from a first economy in Africa under Goodluck Jonathan to the fourth under APC government. Before I forget, the new tax law will issue in a big brother impact will be felt on everything. Once you have that name, BVA, you are on the watch. Okay, so we have to deal with it. I don't think it's a bad thing, but let's see how it goes. Especially with France coming in and having our NIN maybe linked to our social security number. I don't know how to work, but whatever works makes Nigeria a better country. Even if it helps to stop the terrorists, that would be very welcome. I don't know how that's going to work at all. Again, those of us living abroad who send money home, they said it won't affect us if you write what it is for. I don't know how that's going to work. I use the TamTam or whatever they have these days. I don't have a place to write give to grandma or give to auntie to buy snuff. So we have that. We have the continued demand of Nigerian professionals abroad. The medical doctors, they are living in droves, even nurses. But that is also helping them in the rise on remittances. Of course, this is helping further to skew the north-south well-being. Most people who are abroad mostly come from the south, middle belt, so they send money to their families, and their families tend to live a little bit relatively better, and then the money turn around helps to buy stuff, and people are living a lot better. I don't know how that's going to work, but more people are still coming out. And Canada, I have 3 relatives who relocated to Canada just this year. Okay, so that's not too much. You tell me, what are you doing here? Why don't you just go? So I wish we could. I just wish we could. So, of course, the last thing should be the crude and crippling corruption is crazy. Plus the political prostitution. People just woke up one morning and change party. That's not good at all. That's political paralysis at its peak. You can't have this going on in a country. So these are some of the things I remember. I don't want to go to external places because we have too many stories to touch on in Nigeria. Far too many. But like I said, anytime you say something is this, you talk about solution to it. The solution is simply that I understand those who are worried about Nigeria being one. I could tell it there's somebody who's maybe listening here and he's been on this show. Cyril Orji is a fellow New Jerseyan. Okay, he said 30 years ago, when we have Nigerian News Group, when the internet was still very, very in infancy, he said, I am personally opposed to one Nigeria if it means maintaining the status quo. And he said this when I said that Nigeria is unsustainable as is. He said, I'm personally opposed to one Nigeria if it means maintaining the status quo. I'm also very strongly opposed to using the emotions of the current difficulties to tear down the country into smaller countries that have no chance for stability. I say this because let's not give up on Nigeria. Let's not give up. It's a great country. If there's anything we can do from next year to talk it up, to make things change in any way, let's do it. Let's not give up. Let's not give up. It's still a good country. But if in the final analysis it won't work, hey, there's always divorce. In fact, Ojukwu told me personally when he came to New Jersey that he supports Nigeria stay slightly apart. Slightly apart. That's what we need. That's what the structure is all about. That's what Tinubu is doing with the regional police. Okay? Taxation, controlling your resources, stuff like that. We can do very little things like that to make that country look a lot better. We can have an ECOWAS region where Nigerian 6 zones will be like countries in that union. Hey, Scotland, Welsh, Northern Ireland, and England, they are still coexisting. And I think they are doing a lot better than us. Far, far better than us. So I foresee 4 major things, possible changes and outcomes APC has become a dinosaur by default. And when dinosaurs outgrow their environment, they are taken out by something. That's the law of nature. Okay, that's why you don't have lions and tigers running around in Enugu or in Lagos. Okay, you outgrow your environment, you gotta go. So with Trump on the throne, I expect there'll be a finger on the balance for the election in 2027. Just a reverse of what Buhari and Tinubu did to Goodluck Jonathan. You all remember that? Good. So Obama has finger on the scale. No matter what France says, they won't care. These Western regions are out for their interests, not individuals. They just want somebody who's going to do what they want. Now, our savior may be ADC United. I say ADC United like it's a soccer club, but ADC United is popping up. Okay, it might just help to collapse PDP, which is what Wike wants anyway, and Tinubu wouldn't mind for PDP to die. But before it dies, it might just strengthen ADC. So if that ADC pops up, things might work out. If it doesn't work out well, then baboons and dogs may yet shower in blood. Remember Buhari said it didn't work. This time, it may work, sadly. And if it works, we may have another attempt at a violent change, which I'm not talking about the usual suspects. I'm talking about these bandits. I don't know what they want. These terrorists, I don't know what they really want. If they want to turn Nigeria into an Islamic state, or they want to capture the entire north, or they want to just move down to the Atlantic. So, if they gain any more ground, and if we still have people who are sympathetic to the terrorists still in government, something unexpected may just happen. And may God bless us if it happens.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Moore. When we come back to you, you tell us your man or woman of the year. So let me
tell you now.
No, not now.
Okay.
I want to just get a viewpoint of people in terms of review of the year, what's important, the stories that are important to them. All right, Mr. James, I know you have to leave, so let me have your view next.
Well, I think the nation is, sorry, I used the word nation instead of country. The country is at war, as we are speaking right now. So this is not the time for us to say to mention our successes and failures. We are at war. I remember when I was a little boy, while the Biafrans were fighting, that was not a time for them to say, who is the woman of the year or who is the man of the year among the Biafrans. The Liberians were at war. While they were fighting, there was nothing like woman or man of the year. The country is at war. An unmitigated disaster is smoldering in Nigeria. With what happened in Sokoto and other adjoining states recently, we should brace up for a very tough time ahead of us. This is not the time for us to be counting artificial or trivial successes or whatever it is. This is how I look at it. So if you ask me who's the man or woman of the year, I will tell you there is none. I remember my days at the University of Lagos. While we attend graduation ceremonies, the Department of Mathematics, those days, headed by Chike Obi, when it is time to read out the names of graduates, they will say, mathematics department, no graduate. Everybody will applaud. You get what I mean? Because nobody qualified to graduate from the Department of Mathematics for that very year. For this very year, no Nigerian is a man or woman of the year. That is my opinion, because we are at war. So we should be thinking of what to do if the country is going to break up. How many republics will appear? Nobody's thinking about that. Our leaders of thought, this is the time for them to sit down behind the scene to work out the modalities. So the country break up, for example, let's say Biafra, will they incorporate what's it called, the coastal minorities to be part of them or not. This is the time for the leaders of thought to work out the modalities. If we are to live together, on what terms are we going to live together? What type of government? Is it a monarchical government or republican government or whatever, or a condominium or what? This is the time to work out these modalities behind the scene in order for us not to be like Southern Sudan. So this is my opinion. That is locally, there is no man or woman of the year. Nobody is qualified for that honor. Then internationally, when we are talking of man or woman of the year, I think we should think seriously about those who are working on the artificial intelligence, what's it called, working on artificial intelligence. They have demonstrated that man can create something more reasonable than himself. AI is the most, I do not know why it is called AI, artificial intelligence. But when you say something is artificial, it means it is inferior to the original. But artificial intelligence happens to be superior to the intelligence that created it. That is what man has been able to do with his intelligence. So those who are in charge of that operation internationally, they should recognize the key figures among them and choose one of them as either the man or woman of the year. So that is how I see it.
All right.
Thank you all very much. I'll be signing out because it's nearing bedtime in the Gambia.
Thank you, Mr. James. We appreciate you always. We'll see you next weekend, and Happy New Year wherever. If we
There's nothing to be happy about. We should stop pretending. Believe what I mean. Like on Christmas Day, I was at work. You get the point? I do not know why we are so fascinated with these trivialities. What is? I mean, Nigeria. What is there to be happy about? We know that calamity is staring at us. Unmitigated disaster is going to happen. With Nigeria's inability to control the West African sub-region, which is our, what I would call, sphere of influence. We are unable to control our sphere of influence. Nobody can go to South America today and mess around. The Americans will teach the person a lesson he will hate to remember. But we cannot do that in West Africa. So there's nothing, absolutely nothing to be happy about. On New Year Day, I will be at my place of work, ending my living. Thank you all so much indeed. I wish you all a good time.
Thank you, Mr. James. We appreciate you.
Thank you for thanking me. Thank you.
All right. So that's Mr. James. He never fails. He gives it to you the way he feels, and we appreciate him always. KJ, welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Rudolph. Thank you so very much. I try following you people. Whenever Dr. Mo is here, I try to follow him. He's a man I hate to love. I love to hate. And I appreciate him so much. But sometimes we are on the other side. But that doesn't mean, because, we are Igbos, and somebody who have a different view from you, it doesn't necessarily mean you all cannot, share the same distance. That's why we have a very vibrant communities in our place. You bring your idea. We all sit down and trash it. The idea that you have brought, which I don't like, is that, Nigeria was not a creation of God, It's a creation of, men like us. And if we have agreed long time ago that the nation was set on a premise of inequality, where one particular tribe is given utmost power to do whatever they like and get away with it. If we had accepted that we're building a society where everybody will be equal, maybe we should have solved our problem long before Donald Trump arrives. But we have refused to do that. And so now, somebody outside of our home is coming to correct us, to teach us how to live our lives and, probably help us. I'm sure, Dr. Mo, you must have heard the story of the two brothers who are fighting over a loaf of bread. And a stranger came and said, what's the problem here? He said, it's a loaf of bread. This guy wants to take more than myself. And the guy said, okay, let me have it. Which one is bigger than the other one? Both of them said the left one. The guy cut from the left one and put it in his mouth and was chewing it. And when he said, which one is bigger now? The other guy said, the right one. So he cut again. Before he knew it, the bread was almost finished. And the two brothers said, but you're finished. He said, no, I'm trying to make it equal so that both of you can have equal part. That's what is happening here. We have been fighting, and now somebody is coming to help us have it equal. Thank you for being here. We really appreciate your contributions and your time. I always say that time and treasure is what nobody can really, you want to expand it, it doesn't come back. So anytime somebody have opportunity of being with you, I take it as a great pleasure, because those times will not be reversed in that person's life. And having said that, Dr. Rudolph, I don't know. You want me to go straight? Let me go straight to say my man of the. Let me leave what you have discussed before. Right?
No, maybe just give us one story that is important to you in a review of the year, important story, and then you can give us your man and woman of the year.
Okay,
I want to the man and the woman.
There are many stories that comes to mind, especially when it has to do with Nigeria. And one of the things before, more than ever before in Nigeria, the fault lines came in. Everybody could see it. We all have been hearing about it. We all have read about it. But one singular individual who brought that fault line to the public or to the glare of every one of us is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. His trials brought about everyone to see the injustices or the way that law is perceived in Nigeria. The high-handedness of the courts also shows that the law is only written for one particular people, and when it gets to those people, the law can be bent. It can be, it can be spoken to. It can be done. Anything can happen to it, and it will not be a problem. So here is that's my major story for the year, because it exposes all the the fault lines in Nigerian nation as a nation. And then which is my best story? I think I don't really have a good story to. There's nothing really to. Well, just like Dr. Mo, maybe I'll say because the girls won a cup for us, so that seems to be a good story, and so we can actually hold that as our good story. And then I also will say a bigger fish decided to play out the smaller fish. The story of Dangote and Farouk. Yes, because before now, the other man called Farouk had the upper hand. It's just like if you watch WWF, the wrestling match. Now the table has turned, and this other one has the upper hand, and obviously the one who has the upper hand has kicked the other person out, thrown him out of the ring. Not necessarily because he's a better person, but because now the ball is in his court. He has the yam, he has the knife, so he's cutting for them how much they can have. If you look at it, at the end of the day, both of them are playing the same thing. The other person has a much larger part of the pie, while this guy was just dealing with only one plate of the pie. So look at it anyway. Look at it. It's showing again the level that corruption can get to, where policies are made to favor our friends and our cronies, not necessarily for the betterment of Nigeria. So these are some of the things I have noticed, and I think it was not a very pleasant year for Nigeria. This is the first time I see a foreign country bombing Nigeria in my lifetime. We probably heard our parents told us the story of the Civil War and how the bombs were flying over their head, but we have not seen it. We didn't witness it. But today, we can say before our own very eyes that certain individuals who are not people of Nigeria, because we are told they are outsiders, they came to Nigeria. They say, oh, these are visitors. We should treat them kindly. They came for our land. They say, oh, these are visitors, but now they are our neighbors. Deal with them kindly. They came for our people and our women and our men and our young men. They say, oh, these are part of Nigeria. They have nowhere to go. Give them land. And that is the story of Nigeria. When we gave them land, they decided what was given to them was not enough. They will now go and take for themselves the one they like. And that's what is going on. That's why we are where we are. And the government refused to tell themselves the truth. If you don't call an animal what it is, you cannot be able to identify what it's doing. That's where we are being. And it's unfortunate that this is happening. And I like to conclude with Dr. Moses, I would very much like, the structure of Nigeria as it is now. But it's becoming very, very impossible for it to continue. Because the truth is, look, if you don't tell yourself the truth, how do you solve the problem? So the people who are even in governance don't want to tell the truth of what the problem is. I remember the lady who said if who went to Tinubu to ask, "What's your plan for the North?" He said, "I don't have plan for the North." Say, you mean all this, all this, banditry, terrorism, or they don't have plan? He said, "If I have plan, they will kill me. So I don't have plan for them." That's the agreement that brought him to power, and that's what's living, true to today. So it only will be someone like Donald Trump who can actually bring the shege to an end, and we're very happy, that he's bringing it to an end. And someone was asking, "Why am I wearing Nigerian flag?" I'm still in Nigeria until people give us Biafra our flags, and we'll change it. But for now, we are here with you guys. And if you will say we will not go, we will fight each piece of the land. We will fight it together with you people. We will not relent. But when you are tired, what's his name now? The Bible, Jacob was blessing his. Is it Jacob? Isaac was blessing his sons, the two sons. He said something to the one who cheated the other one. He said, "I have given all my blessings to that one. But when you struggle so much, if you struggle too much, you will break the curse over him and you will prevail." And somewhere down the scripture, you find out that his brother had broken the curse and was even more richer than Jacob himself. That's what's going to happen. So you either let us go, or at the time that is designated, we'll all go in peace. Thank you so much for the time.
All right. What about your man of the year?
I have so said it now. Man of the year is Nnamdi Kanu.
Oh, Nnamdi Kanu. Okay.
Yes, that's my man of the year. Because where is the law? If you show the law, we'll withdraw and give another person. There's no law. You don't take somebody to court when there's no law. That's my man of the year. Anytime.
All right. Thank you.
I'm sorry. Just me add one more. Have you seen anybody who was put in prison and southern, other country musicians are singing with his name and praising him? There are more than 10 of those tracks on the internet where they are singing in Swahili language and all the Eastern language, Southeastern
only
language.
Nnamdi Kanu.
Only Nnamdi Kanu.
No, have you heard of Mandela?
I said Mandela.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so they compose songs for him, and we are all enjoying the song. If you want, I can play one of them for you. I have like 5 of them.
No, I'm not doubting what you said.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, KJ. All right, let's hear from Kene. Kene, basically, man of the year, justification for your choice.
Okay, thank you. Good to be here again. So I will start with, you say man of the year, but I have men of the year.
Okay.
Nnamdi Kanu number 1 and Donald Trump number 1. So these two men really stood out, and I pray that God in heaven will continue to give them the strength to overcome and expose the evil that we found ourselves in, which is Nigeria. Now, I will start with the good things. I wouldn't want to start with bad things, right? That has happened to Nigeria or that is still happening to Nigeria, because I know everything in Nigeria is evil. But let's start with the good thing. At least there must be something good from that country. And number 1 is the fact that Wike was challenged by a young military officer, someone that has never been challenged by anyone. Everybody is literally scared of this animal. But a young military guy is, challenged him, and he couldn't do nothing. Now, secondly, the good thing that has happened to Nigeria is that those that supported Tinubu in 2023 election, those that participated in rigging the election, are all suffering today. And you remember last time I told you guys, soon after that rigging that they call election, I told you that Wike will later be disgraced by both PDP and APC. Phase 1 is over, phase 2 is coming. Now, my happiness is that all of them are suffering. Their life has never been any better. It is going from worse to worse. And some of them are running away from Nigeria. Some professionals without brain, they are all running away from Nigeria, going to Canada, US. Some even end up in Egypt. Oh, Lord. Now, another good thing is Trump's intervention. for being able to stroke about 1,000 plus terrorists without Tinubu's approval. So if you see anyone...
Wait. How many people?
1,000 plus.
Died?
Yes, 1,000 plus. Anyone giving you any number less than 1,000 is a liar.
Where did you see this story? I really want to see.
Okay, don't worry. Dr. Damage, see, you see, in Nigeria, we all have our own source of information, right? But the truth is, anything that Nigerian government is, promoting and having their online touts promoting is lie. When you hear them saying that, oh, Tinubu gave US approval, Tinubu wasn't even aware that US was going to strike. The reason being that I overheard someone, I think is a DG, he made a lot of sense, but I differ with him in some areas, saying that Nigeria, Trump attacking Nigeria is not going to... I was like, hold on. Tinubu isn't even aware because even recommend that instead of US striking the terrorists, they should have given the Nigerian army the weapons to do the job themselves. No, you cannot give a terrorist weapon to attack his fellow terrorists. They are not going to do that. For how long have you been waiting for these people to attack the terrorists? Have not done that. The only thing that we see glaring in our eye is that they will absorb the terrorists into the Nigerian army all the time, and they'll be telling you that these terrorists can even become a president of that country if they repent tomorrow. So they call them repentant terrorists or bandits, and then recruited them into the Nigerian army. And you want them, these are the people you are expecting. You are really expecting these people to attack their people, the so-called terrorists. It is not going to work. So one of the good things is that Trump was able to send 1,000 plus to Allah. Let them go and enjoy 72 virgins peacefully. Now, we have a lot of these so-called leaders in Nigeria being exposed this year. And most of them claim that they love Nigeria, they are patriotic Nigeria. But as we have it now, we all seen that they are the real problem in that country. They are the terrorists. Anybody that sympathizes with terrorists is a terrorist, right? Anybody that tells you that if you attack terrorists, you're attacking the North, he's a terrorist. Because are you trying to tell us that Northern Nigerians are terrorists? Hell no. We have good people from Northern Nigeria. And one good thing again is that Tinubu was able to expose this Fulani nonsense, where the Hausas are beginning to wake up from their slumber. The Hausas are beginning to disassociate themselves from Fulanis, telling Fulanis that you guys are visitors, you are invaders, you should go back to wherever you come from. We don't know you, you are not our brothers. And now, religious-wise, they are beginning to know that race connects us more than religion. We as blacks are more affiliated to one another than being Christian or Muslims, right? These two religions are foreign religions. We have one coming from the Arabs, and we have the other one coming from the Europe, right? So they are visitors, and we want them to go and leave us peacefully so that we continue to face our God the traditional way. Now, the bad things that have happened to Nigeria, I think is only one thing, only one thing. They've got the fact that those Tinubu supporters that are running out from Nigeria, they voted for a thief, for a drug baron to bring the economy to better their life. They are running away from the country. So the bad thing is that those countries that they are running to are sending them back to Nigeria. And I hope and I pray that Trump will send each and every one of them back to Nigeria, deny them visa, revoke their citizenship, send them back one after the other so that they will go and enjoy the Nigeria that they are proud of. You cannot come here all the time and be lying to us. I'm a proud Nigerian. But when you are sent back to that Nigeria that you should be proud of, you start crying, you start lamenting. Who owe you anything in Europe? Who owes you anything in the US? US is their country. Are you from US? You are from Nigeria and you're a proud Nigerian. So you should go back to Nigeria and enjoy your good Nigeria. So I think I don't know, but
thank you, Kenneth.
Lastly, we shouldn't be saying that we don't know which way to go. We don't want Nigeria to be divided, and then we hope. No, at this point, tell ourselves the truth. We are hopeless. Nigeria is not heading anywhere positively. Nigeria, there is no solution, and some of us are now calling. Since we are all hopeless now, we are all powerless. Let's just divide the country and let all man go peacefully so that when we see tomorrow, we still become neighbors. Like if, for example, I see somebody like Masca tomorrow, I'll say, hey, he used to be my Nigerian brother. He used to be. Do you understand? We can give them visa and they will come with visas. They will respect themselves like Shosho, like one man, for example. Now, one man can come to Biafra, Biafra, right, will subject him the way he should behave as a foreigner or else.
Exactly the way you behave as a foreigner in America. Thank you so much. Let's hear from Femi. Femi, go ahead.
The visa is not automatic. Visa is not automatic. It shouldn't be automatic.
CM, hold on. When we come to you, we're coming to you.
You can reject some visa applicants.
Femi, go ahead.
Hey, CM, don't let me use your internet. Anyway.
So Femi, before you start, we're giving 3 minutes so that we can get to everybody. Time is running out. Our guest Mo has to leave, and we wanted to do it in 3 hours. So 3 minutes. You are a man of the year.
Don't worry, I'm holding Mr. Dr. Mo down for another hour. You can't get.
No. 30 minutes max. 30 max.
I'll pay you. Do overtime.
No. It's not money at all.
Okay. Anyway,
Mr. Dr. Mo cannot come and chance us now. Today, all of us now guess.
Okay. So you asked for the major events or something. So I have a list, but I'm not going to repeat what most people have already listed, and we already know what happened for the most part. My list includes everything from the G20 summit, which has its own controversies, from America not attending, and the aftermath, which would include South Africa not likely being invited when he gets hosted by the US next year. Although knowing Trump, Trump, he can wake up tomorrow and take Panadol and change his mind again. And then the unheralded NATO summit in The Hague, which had a lot to do with the realignment of Europe in the light of America, led by the whole powerful Donald Trump, and how he has told them to go and try and solve their own problems when it comes to coming up with money, and the issues that's been exacerbated by the Ukraine-Russia conflicts. Of course, the ongoing Israeli-Gaza ceasefire, which really has turned out not to be a ceasefire, the prisoner exchange, the 12-day war, the ongoing Sudan civil war conflict that's even escalated, and of course is shown as posed the UAE. Furthermore, the youth-led protests, especially the one in Nepal, I think if we recall, that was the one that the president may have ran away, literally. And of course, when it comes to technology and space research specifically, which I have a lot of interest in, China has made a lot of grounds, and it's one of the things that a lot of people are not paying attention to. China is making a lot of grounds when it comes to space research, and I know Flagship mentioned something earlier. China is making a lot of they're covering a lot of grounds. As a matter of fact, there's an Australian what's it called? I don't know if it's a corporation or concern now, that's kind of like they have this balance that they put to how nations develop technologically, especially when it comes to certain parameters that has to do with advanced technology, including AI. Right now, when it comes to advanced technology, as of this year, they are looking at China as dominating in 8 out of 10, 58 out of 64. generally. And we look forward to what's going to happen next year. As for my man of the year, there's a whole lot of other things when it comes to Nigeria and what have you. For my man of the year, we align with Kene. Interestingly, when it comes to Trump, although for a different reason, because he has shaken the world, especially when it comes to tariff and what have you. And my second man of the year, not too surprisingly, is AI and the fear of AI.
Thank you, Femi. I appreciate that. What about woman? Do you have any woman of importance?
I think the Super Falcons, women of the year, they shamed our Eagles that failed to qualify for the. You know what? Let's just pick a woman president. Maybe that might change things.
All right.
Although not the Tanzanian type.
Oh, sorry, did I miss woman of the year? Sorry.
Do you have one?
Yeah. Nicki Minaj. That lady is giving me she's giving me peace.
All right, Nicki Minaj. All right, thank you. Let me. I'll be going back to people that came before and then people that just came in. So let me go to CM. Let's hear you. Thank you, Femi. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, let me say my man of the year. I think that is where we are now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
My man of the year, well, without doubt, is Nnamdi Kanu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, the prisoner of conscience. Somebody who was just because of the fact that he's advocating for the liberation of his people, who was just banned into prison without any written law. It's a terrible shame. So Nnamdi Kanu remains my man of the year. For what? Because of what he stood for and what he continues to fight for. One day he will come out alive, and it won't be long. Just to shame Nigeria, to tell them that you cannot put something on nothing and expect it to stand. In fact, it's a terrible shame that he's even convicted at all. It's a shame. So because of that, he is my man of the year. Very bold, courageous, speaking truth to power, irrespective of anything, against all odds. He stood his ground. Now he has one more followers. It's not for nothing that people are going to Sokoto to visit him, including Bishop Kuka. Everybody, they are falling on top of them, on themselves, to go and see him now they can in Sokoto. If it's not that important or his message is not resonating, I mean, it should have been confined to the dustbin of his. The fact that people are going to visit him, governors, whoever it is, it means that yes, he's somebody to reckon with. His gospel can be likened to that of Martin Luther King. Yeah. Then for my woman of the year, I will choose Dr. Mrs. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala because of what she stands for, and what she has achieved as the first woman director of the World Health Organization. I read somewhere, probably subject to stand to become
World Trade.
World Trade Organization. Sorry, World Trade Organization. So she's my woman of the year. She's a beacon of hope, an Amazon, an icon, the best economist, the greatest economist ever to be produced by Nigeria. If you know somebody who is better than her, let me know with a result. Nigeria has never had a better economist than Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala. Then I understand she wants to open an outpost of World Trade Organization somewhere in Aba, just to give Philip and then to augment what Dr. Alex Oti is doing. So more days ahead, good news, and I wish her well. She is my woman of the year without any shred of doubt. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I guess Dr. Moore has to leave, so let me give him a chance to give us his man and woman of the year, and then we continue. Moore, go ahead.
Yes, thank you so much. I think it's KJ said it for me. I will go with Nnamdi Kanu. Nobody comes close to me well, if you have a distant number 2, you may talk of Jason Wike for his rise and fall, okay, which is sweet to so many people. Man of the year or one of the year is not because the person did a great thing, but because of the person resonated with people during the year. So for one of the year, I'm going to go off the flank and go for Regina Daniel Moko. For the crash of May to December marriage. We know these things don't work. We just think God is going to come from heaven to make them all right. Okay, but also because Nollywood has been, like the last speaker said, a beacon of hope for Nigerians. The film industry is so popular out here, it is unbelievable. I have colleagues who tell me stories about Nollywood. I have to go back and watch for them for us to have conversation. So Nollywood is going places, and for that, I think Ngozi is okay, and the rest of them, they are good. We know that. But Regina Daniel Smoko is my woman of the year. Thank you so much, guys. I have to go somewhere, and thank you for having me. I'll be back next year. God bless and take care. Rudolph, your book, get to me, signed.
Yeah,
with Trump's signature across the page.
Thank you so much more, and we'll be talking.
Okay.
All right,
Bye, guys.
Thank you. Let's go to forefathers. You're a man of the year and woman of the year.
Yeah, first of all, I'm a bit shocked by some of the men of the year. Why should I be shocked? And women of the year that everybody has picked. You notice that they pick people that are either serving their oppressors or they cause a lot of destruction to their own people. But that said, clearly in Nigeria, the man of the year is Dangote. He has given Nigerians hope. And then based on the fact that he might even scale up his production to 1.4 million. The fact that nobody mentioned it, it's just crazy. This just shows you how crazy we are. I don't know what is wrong with us. I really don't know. What can I say? Then Natasha Kuti, because in politics you don't get to see people that try to do the right thing by the people. And she's one of the few. And because nobody even chose to notice, no wonder we never produce nationalists that actually wants to do good for our people. None of them even mentioned the OT. They are all talking about Nnamdi Kanu. I don't know what is wrong with us. Something is seriously wrong with us. Do you care for vanity or what is that? The people that are actually helping people on the ground that have actually affected lives on the ground, nobody bothered to care about them. And why would anybody want to work for this country when you have people like this that don't appreciate good work? They can't see it, they don't recognize it. They would rather people bluster and ask for forgiveness tomorrow. So people cause bets and they will say, let's forgive them. Then you wonder why you get what you get. Look at the country. The spirit that governs all of you is what kept Nigeria this way. And some of them say, let's go back to the way we were before. It's like a dog going back to its vomit to go and get it again. How many nations have you seen do that? They all go forward all the time. Even when some of them slaughter each other in the 50s of millions, they still come together and go forward. What are the year brought to you that has even come close to that? That you put us in your feelings. I really feel sorry for us. If I was a Igbo man, I'll put us out of our misery because they have the opportunity to do that now. Malaria can't stop them anymore. They have cure for it. They even have vaccine for it now. Yellow fever can't stop them now. The thing that stopped them before is not there anymore. I don't know why we're even here. If they say they want to wipe us out now, what will stop them? They are living by their mercy. And none of you even feel any sense of urgency. You don't even feel any sense of urgency for your children, your children's children. Because it's okay. Let's welcome the destroyers of our kingdom. Let's welcome continent destroyers that even have more power to destroy continents. And they are thinking of other worlds, like somebody has highlighted today. If people can live in other worlds, what makes you think that they can take over what you have here? The good side, they want to use Africa for a massive factory that you can't even start comprehending because our men can't think at that scale. They can't. You see the whole world sharpening its knives. They are sitting here saying, oh, let's serve them more. Let's serve them more. These people have shown they can do it. And they have shown they are willing to do it again. And they have not shown you any reason that they are going to do anything better for you. When you compare us to Germany, compare us to Japan, if you look at those countries, they are extremely strong people. Americans made the mistake with them after the First World War. And they prepared them. And they learned the lesson that they will not try that again with them. They help them build the second time because they know if they try to repeat the same, history will test itself again. The same thing with Japan. Japan was an ally of the West in the First World War, and they used racism to discriminate against them. Japan showed them pepper with the Second World War. Guess what? They learned their lesson. But with men, why would they bother with you? Why would they even bother with you? You don't have any reason for them to respect you. Zero. You've already sold your birthright, like Esau. You've already sold it. Why would I even, if I was them, I won't want anything to do with you, because you are going to destroy my children with your ideology. Reactionaries, they can't think into the future. Like, I did an analysis about our situation right now, and what the system indicated that what we should be doing is make ourselves invaluable in this scenario. Nobody ever talked about what are the West doing for us. What are they doing for us? And because they are coming to bomb us now. We are giving them our resources, giving them everything. What are they giving us? Other people get a lot from them. Even Egypt gets a lot from them. Israel gets a lot from them. India gets a lot from them. What is wrong with us? We just say, just come and bomb terrorists. That's good enough for us. Even when you know they are funding them. Even if you know they are working with the same people that are busy destroying your country. Maybe it's like they literally had an Islamist of the Al-Qaeda branch from Syria inside the White House the other day. The Prince of Saudi Arabia was with them the other day. They are allies to them. They have military bases with them. Why do you think they don't support you? You that is a Christian, why don't they support you? Because you are useless. You are so useless. You have already surrendered. You don't have anything to offer. You are not powerful. Even the little power we have, we've already surrendered that one. And now we are even worse. We are even praising them more. Being divided, thinking that that's going to lead you anywhere. If you are divided, you're just giving them exactly what they want. Because if I was them sitting on the other side, I have that heart, I can tell you that right now. I won't feel anything when I cleanse the continent out. Because hearing you guys, it's like, why should I even sacrifice any resources when I can just take it? Why? Why should I get it free for my children and my people so they can live into the future and actually be prosperous? We can. The answers are right there. It's not even that hard. The truth is that all the people on this planet are highly intelligent in terms of education. But because of that blind aspect of us, I don't know what it is. We refuse to use that knowledge to do critical analysis. Maybe because we are scared. Maybe we don't want to put ourselves in harm's way. Like we are not already in harm's way. If you think you're not in harm's way, you're already there. Make no mistake. You better just start preparing and hope that you survive it. That's all I can say. Thank you.
All right.
Commenting on the Somaliland one.
You can add it, but we are moving on just because of time to get everybody to
Let me just be quick about that. Because if you look at the Somaliland, that area, you can tell the weakness of Africa if you look at the way they molded that area. It's like they mold us as they see fit. They locked the most powerful nation in that region inland, using the smaller ones. And Somaliland, Ethiopia was talking to Somaliland to get access to the sea. What did Somalia do? How dare you? How dare you even try to get access to the sea? Our most powerful nation there. How dare you have access to the sea? Let's go and bring Turkey to come and help us. That's how useless our continent is. We are so short-sighted. You are thinking about I don't know what it is even, because if you are thinking clearly, you will know that Ethiopia having access to the sea is a good thing for the region. But they are so tribal, they are so blinded, they are willing to go to foreigners to prevent a local power from emerging into the sea. Somalia outnumbers all the countries surrounding it put together, and they locked it inland. You can't, if you try to tailor it, you couldn't have tailored it better by the hands of the foreigners. And then you see Djibouti right there, has all kinds of foreign military bases apart from an African military base in their country. We have some of the most, I don't know, man. If I was a Igbo man, if I look at us, I just think, why did people live there? Did we forget this? I think you were just distracted because of the First World War. We should have removed this for a long time ago. We are so useless, and they should allow Somalia access to the sea. And the thing that Israel is doing that is really troubling, it says Somaliland will be part of the Abrahamic Accord. In other words, they are seeing Somaliland as part of the Middle East. I tell you, God help us. Our people, God help you. People don't have a clue what is coming. Thank you.
All right, thank you, forefathers. China must go. Ovie, welcome.
Now I'm scared. Tunanja don't threaten me. I have to edit someone Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu name. I'm scared. I hope that this threatening will stop this year. We are not going to move into next year by attacking this bag to Tunanja. Easy. Anyway, we must start with the bad, Abi.
No, man of the year. We're narrowing down to man of the year, and
yeah. It's the same. I know they talk too much. Don't worry. Tinubu to me, I think can never get. If it get bad than it gets under Tinubu. Tax reform in January, removing Fubara in June, in May, I've been in March, June. Then under his watch, we have fireworks from foreign nation. Even my father, who was 90 years at the age of, he was 90 in 1822. So if you imagine that we are going to have that kind of fireworks in our domain. So that's new. The good thing, then Wike and Soja, that's a revolution. When we see the men in their places telling us, I say this is how they run the country. That's new. That's another height. Dangote and Farouk. I don't think people understand the implication of that. That man maybe in political career don't finish, but in Nigeria with it. But that too is another thing that actually shows how it works up there. And we've fixed to make million this year. So part of the thing. Then the good one, man of the year. Come on now, about talk by that's the man right there. Like the man of the year, be that not necessarily because he knows I speak English, but that's the foundation. But he has touched me and my village people, all of us, an history of 120 years, literally 120 years chieftaincy fight. The guy just with an act, everybody get the message. So I give him that. Trump, of course, some of us, whether they call conspiracy theories, when they tell you the world has changed, the world will change, but they don't agree. But with the commander, the man himself, even Dr. Damage said, no, they made joke of Donald Trump again. And I'm surprised because he has gotten the message. Everybody in the world has gotten the message that it's a new world that we are living today. So I'll give him that. Of course, Peter will be, whether we like it or not, the North are having a sleepless night because the man is still up in our face. So I will give it to me. It started very high, and I think he has maintained that standard as a solo man, a man that believes in a world color revolution. So I put him in there. My Oba as Oba stand up when he needed to, and I think the whole world actually get the message that he educated us to. So in terms of women, I want to talk where they give us $20 pretty much every weekend. But people don't notice that from the beginning of the year to now, she has been giving us $20 Saturday and Sunday. So she's my woman of the year, and of course Natasha. To be in the lion den and still going strong. People don't understand how these men, Nigerian police, hate women rich until, so for her to still keep going, I give it to her.
All right, thank you.
And Dr. Damage, 90 Minutes Africa, I think is among the top 5 podcasts of the year for me.
Thank you, Ovie. I appreciate you. The flagship, your man of the year, woman of the year.
Thank you, Rudolph. What I was going to say, I have a question. I think today's the 28th, right? I'm trying to.
28th, yeah.
Yeah. So we're like 3 days to the end of the year, and Nigeria's president has jetted off out of Nigeria. When all presidents are remaining in their countries and preparing their New Year's speech and plan for the year as it starts. The only president that I've heard that is running away from his country is Nigeria's president, except it's for a tactic to try to push back on Donald Trump, who's flying his drones around Borno State right now, doing recon exercises. If that's to stop him from releasing the other part of the complementary wishes that every one of us give at this time of the year. The first one has been given, Merry Christmas. So I think Tinubu is trying to avoid Happy New Year from coming from Donald Trump, should he decide to do that by the first of the year. That leads me to listing my man of the year. Number one would be Tinubu, because he has personified tonality deafness in all of its ramifications, where whatever is happening around him, he seems not to be moved by it, perhaps because he's not aware or he's ill-advised by his handlers. Number two, of course, is Donald Trump. That's the only man that I've seen that can send shockwaves around the world with a single tweet, and everybody will start scrambling to shaping up. And number three will be Rudolph. Rudolph, you've also personified some sort of tough and thick skin to comments that are derogatory, most especially against you. You don't seem to be moved by it. So with that, I think you deserve that award of Man of the Year in 2025. So much has happened in our country, many lessons learned, I believe, and a lot of us, I hope we have taken notes to see where our misses are, opportunities that came that we missed in ways that we can get our country back up, and that we look back on our list and begin to come up with plans for 2026 to help in any way we can to shaping things. 2026 is going to be a very wonderful year in the sense that a lot has been planned that will happen, most especially within the technology space. So many things are going to change, and many of which will be handled by quote unquote artificial intelligence. And that really makes me cringe a lot when I think about our country, Nigeria, as it is now, where we stand. If truly we will not epitomize what Trump called a shithole country, because as it is right now, we don't have a chance in terms of where the world is going as we move on. Lastly, I saw there's a museum called the Museum of the Futurists in the UAE. For those who go there a lot, please take time to go there and look at it and see what has been projected, or at least planned, for what the future of mankind will be on this planet, both by nature and humans. And every time I see that, I wonder where Africa would be. If you take a look at that map, there's a globe out there in that facility. Take a look at it and see how it is, the whole continent have been restructured and how it's going to look in the not so far future. So I'm hoping that as we round up 2025, we as a people, and I'll put the burden mostly on those of us who are in the diaspora that have seen the other side of the world, how we're going to come together beyond meeting in this space in different platforms to speak and tell how eloquent we are and show our knowledge of geopolitics and all of that history. How we can put all of this knowledge together as a people in the West to come up with a plan for our country, Nigeria, to at least get up to where we can begin to lay foundations that our children will build upon. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, the flagship. I think we have Anelechuku, Tony, and
Dr. Damage is still not having on another section.
No, KJ is.
KJ, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Anelechuku, go ahead.
Rudolph, you can put me in the backstage, please.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And Happy New Year to everybody.
Yeah, thank you. Who is saying? I don't know what's saying that. I'll get it out. Taken care of. Okay, go ahead.
All right. The events for me, the developments in Nigeria, and how Tinubu has shown to any patriotic Nigerian that he's not a competent person to be in the leadership of Nigeria, he's actually a mistake. And in 2027, which come beginning from next year, 2026, every Nigerian of goodwill, every patriotic Nigerian who wants a country that is called Nigeria should understand that you have a dog in the fight. You have a role to play, directly or indirectly. People you can influence, and in the comments we make, in the presentations, in all fora that we are in, we should be able to ensure that we have a country with a better leadership. Because what we have so far is a confirmation that what Trump says now disgraced country has actually become what Nigeria is, because Tinubu had made it happen. Several things. I'll leave it at that. Another thing also is that the other events of the year has actually exposed to Nigerians that injustice to one is injustice to all. Every tribe in Nigeria gather when the problem is an Igbo man in the box. But unfortunately, what all the Nigerians do not understand is that the problem the Igbo man faces, or the discrimination he gets, or the marginalization that he gets, eventually will catch up with him. What is happening in the Middle Belt, particularly the killings that happened in Plateau and Benue State, should be a lesson, because that is injustice. It comes in various shades and in various colors. And even on this forum, I saw injustice, and somebody cried out and became an Igbo man, unfortunately, because I will cite Ovie. I'm glad he's here. Ovie, in one of the shows that we had, you behaved like the Igbo man. The Igbo man is called emotional. The Igbo man is called sentimental, because when he is victimized, when he is marginalized, he cries out and he says they are crying the victim. On a show we had here one time, I remember either AY or somebody had spoken for about 4 times. We never had an opportunity to speak. You protested. And I tell you, that is the plight of the Igbo man in Nigeria. And that, to me, is injustice, is unfairness. But you cried out. So when you hear the Igbo man cry out, say, this is not proper, this is not normal, every Nigerian should resonate with it. Just as the Plateau people, the Benue people are being killed, and they said they are being exterminated, their genocide is being committed against them. Those who are not victims of that genocide say, no, it's not. That's the problem. I hope and I pray that 2026 will be able to do better for the country, especially those of us who live outside of Nigeria, who have seen better climes, how things are done. We should be able to replicate and reproduce what we see, export it back home. Now, for the man of the year, people who may know me and I feel, hey, why are you saying Trump? I'll give it to Trump. He's the man of the year for me, in the sense that Trump brought peace in the Middle East. He calmed the troubled sea in the Middle East. Him hitting Iraq and encouraging Israel and other people who were able to quell the storm that were in the Middle East gives me, that's point to say that he is the man of the year because he had brought peace. There is peace in Syria now. There is peace in the Middle East, largely. So I give it to Trump, and to me, he deserved the Nobel Peace Prize should have been him. He was robbed, and I believe he's going to get it next year for those singular efforts. Again, that he made efforts to condemn the killings that are going on in Nigeria. You find out that Nigerian government they are beginning to sit up. So for that, he's my man of the year. I appreciate that forefather mentioned Alex Soti. And that is also one of the people I pen down as man of the year because he has shown Nigerians what good leadership can bring to a state. If you can do that in a state, you will be able to have a better Nigeria if we have people like that at the helm of affairs as the president of Nigeria. So it now behoves on all of us in every way, shape, or form that we can do this. Let us see that we have the likes of, I'm not saying it should be Alex Soti, but I'm saying the likes of Alex Soti, let us enthrone them in places of governance and leadership in all the states of Nigeria, and as well as at the Aso Rock in 2027. But the race begins from next year, 2027. So let us begin to load it up that from 2026, let's escalate all that we can escalate, negotiate all we can negotiate to ensure that we have good governance and good people to lead Nigeria in 2027. The race begins from 2026. Thank you all.
All right. Thank you, Anela Chukwu. Tony, you are next.
Okay. I would rather focus on Nigeria. And first of all, I would speak on my man of the year. I also have a woman of the year. My man of the year is someone who demonstrated that public office is for service. My man of the year is someone who demonstrated that it is possible to fix things if you are determined and focused. And that man is the governor of Abia State, His Excellency Oti. My woman of the year is someone who could not be bought by the lure of public office. She interrogated the president as to what she would do for the country, particularly in terms of tackling the security issues that we have, which is critical. And when the president didn't give her a satisfactory answer, he declined serving under his government. That woman is Hajia Najatu Mohammed. That is my man. He showed that there should be character, there should be integrity, and not just besides the law for public office. He's my man, my woman of the year. Now, in terms of my overview of 2025 as it relates to Nigeria, first of all, I start with the government. Generally, if you look at the government and you want to break down sectoral developments and policies and so on and so forth, I think Nigeria has demonstrated that it's a country whose head that is on life support. I mean, that is on life support. It's a country, I would say, whose head has been beheaded. And then that is because we have a failed government, of a government that has no vision, that is planless. They used to accuse Jonathan of being clueless, but I think this is like a ship that is rudderless, and this is where they have led us to. And I think Najatu was right, because she refused to participate and be part of that government. Now, what are the highs? Yes, I agree that one of the highs that we have is Dangote refinery, an investment that took about $20 billion. And I applaud the man for braving to put that kind of investment in Nigeria, in spite of the very hostile environment. And I applaud him for managing to swim through all the torrents, all the storms that have been thrown upon him. I don't like him as a person, but I think that factory, if you give it a few years, is going to be a game changer. We're already seeing the gains in terms of employment, in terms of the impact on our foreign forex, in terms of its general effects on the lives of the people. And I think that he's been an encouragement to many who want to invest. But all said and done, like I said before, I think that this is a ship that has hit the rock, and the best thing for us to do is to do something about our entire existence as a country. That's my view. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Tony. Let's hear Eccentricus.
Hello, everybody. It's afternoon here, so good afternoon. So my man of the year is Zoran Mamdani, who won the mayoral election in New York. You know, it's a welcome development, as it shows that Americans are waking up. They're moving away from the status quo. You know, the two-party system. So it's a very welcome development, and I hope that his mayoral leadership is going to bring like some changes in New York, and also and inspire other socialists and socialist minded candidates or people to run for election positions. I also want to say that Nigeria needs some kind of evolution in their political thinking, right? We need socialists in Nigeria. We need socialist organizations in Nigeria, to kind of show people that there is a criticism of capitalism. That's what socialism is. It's a criticism of capitalism, nothing more, nothing less. Capitalism in Nigeria is treated like as a religion, which is bad, because even in schools in Nigeria, no one teaches about criticism of capitalism or other people that criticizes the capitalist system. And those who don't see that the Nigerian problem has to do with the system of economy that we practice need to do some more research. The Woman of the Year, of course, is Francisca Albanese of United Nations. I commend her, because a lot of people that spoke up against the genocide in Gaza lost their jobs. People in the media, people that have professional, jobs, lost their jobs and what have you. People on YouTube, people like Brianna Joy Gray lost her channel. She got suspended. A lot of people, lost their channels and everything for criticizing one of the most gruesome thing that's ever happened in the 21st century. Also, I want to say that people that picked Donald Trump as the man of the year are pretty interesting people. How would you pick someone like Donald Trump? I mean, someone like that, you would not even make him a role model for your children or grandkids. So why would you pick him as the man of the year? I mean, what has he done? For those who's saying that, him bombing Nigeria is, it's a welcome development. I want you to go read 2025 National Security Strategy. Go to the bottom. Go to the bottom section of the document where they talked about Africa. It clearly states what the aim is. It's not black and white. It clearly states the aim. And it's funny, the document reads like something I write, because my second job is I'm a quality manager. I'm working at a company that doesn't have, they're not AS 9100 certified. I'm not going to mention them a company. I'm helping them get AS 9100 certification and ISO 9001. So, my job is to, look at the SWOTs, SWOT, strength, weakness, opportunity, threats, and many other things, like the PDA cycle, Plan, Do, Check Act. These strategies are used in government as well. They're used in countries, country like Nigeria. You can look at the strength of Nigeria. I'm pretty sure they do. They look at our strength, our weaknesses. Sectarian violence, part of our weaknesses, and of course the tribalism, which should be a strength, but it's also a weakness. And opportunity that's what Trump is taking advantage of, the opportunity, with the problems in the northern region, presents a perfect opportunity. Someone's going to come in, wave his magic wand, solve your problem, solve the problem. And then what does he get in return, right? He'll get everything in return, right? And of course, the threat, we know what the threats are. So anyways, those are my two man of the year and woman of the year. And I'm also going to add, another man of the year would be, I would say, Maduro. It's crazy how it may sound, Maduro, right? Trump has been saber rattling, and he stood his ground, right? You see him dancing. He's not falling for the hoopla. So that's kind of like a good example. And he has a system in his country where it's people-centered system. Even though Venezuela, it's very poor right now due to sanctions, but the people, they're enjoying the socialist programs. So Maduro is one of the for Xi Jinping and Yaya Sinwa. That's it. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much, Eccentricast, for that. This is my final word because we have to go, and I wanted to mention that KJ will host an after show, which will happen immediately. This one is over. My own choice, I will be a little bit political in terms of where I'm coming from. I thought one man disappeared. Okay, one man. Let's hear from you before I speak. Go ahead.
Oh, all right. So I thought it was going to go on for a bit, so I built. Thank you for having me. I did actually come in first, but so the man of the year. So let me first start, and with your permission, by the way, in the spirit of Breakfast Club. When I finish the man of the year, maybe we also do the donkey of the year. So I'll give you the donkey of the years as well. But first to the men of the year. So the men of the year, there's an abundance. I'm not looking beyond the Nigerian space. If you look at somebody like Yemson Wike, the transformational impact that he has had on Abuja, there's a strong argument to say that he's a man of the year. If you look at Tunji Ojo, the impact he has had on the Ministry of Interior, there's all the arguments that says that he should be a man of the year. If you look at Festus Keyamo, the way he's revolutionized the aviation industry, much to the increment of the bank balance of Alan Oyema, you could argue that he's a man of the year. So you could argue many men of the year, all of them Nigerian. And if you look at the transformation of that country from where we came from 2.5 going on 3 years ago, where Buhari left us, snakes swallowing, well, I don't need to recount Buhari, everybody experienced it. So if you look at all of that transformation, then then you look at, and by the way, this is the most reformative administration that we've ever had in the history of that country. That is beyond equivocation. That's a factual statement backed up by policy and projects. So in 2.5, less than 3 years, the shape and direction of that country has been completely turned around. I don't think anybody is disputing that. So now, how do you measure that impact? If you are from the opposition cusp, you try to play it down. If you are with the government, you try to amplify it, but without equivocation, the impact is irrefutable. It's not up for discussion. The reforms and the impact is beyond equivocation. So who is the choir master? Who is the person orchestrating all this? Your president and mine, Rudolph, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. So now the journey these guys embarked upon, if you look at it, the Lagos-Calabar Superhighway is the most impactful project going on in Africa at the moment. Just for its significance and its transformational impact. There is not even the supposed dam that they're building in Ethiopia. There's no project going on in Africa at the moment that is more impactful than the Lagos-Calabar Superhighway. I can even see the Obedience driving on it now, the portions opened, and suddenly they are pivoting their narrative and doing their Palungo dance, but that's by the by. So the other project, even equally impactful, is the Sokoto-Badagry Superhighway, which is fast progressing as well. So when they birthed this project, by the way, your space said, oh, they were going to use to loot money and all that, but now it's coming to reality. So that's the most impactful. The tax reform thing is the most transformational. If you look at the quantum of money that thing would generate, you want development, you don't want to pay taxes. How does that even, is that some form of retardation? Are you retarded? You want your country to develop, or you don't want to pay tax? Are you normal in the head? So that's just ridiculous. But the amount of money that place is going to harness is one to be looked forward to. When they harness that money, not only would they use it to transform that country, it will also shore up that currency because it stands then to defend the dollar and all of that. So very revolutionary. The Nel Fund, etc. I could go through the list, but it's all well known. So of course, don't worry now. I know it doesn't chime with you, but it chimes with the greater good of the country. So the man of the year, not just Nigeria, globally, because he's transforming an African country that will well propel the black race. So the man of the year globally, and almost certainly after the 8 years, the man of the century, of course, your president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. The woman of the year for me is the woman, Haita something or the other. She's this northern woman in charge of the creative industry and all that. So I like the way she carries herself and the impact that she's having. So she's my woman of the year. So now the donkeys of the year, the retard from Oka, of course, always the donkey, still trying to do his ethnic jumping up and down, not able to pivot from a narrative that already failed. So he's the retard. And the female retard of the year, what's it called? That one from Kogi State, Natasha Akpoti, who is trying to bring back bottom power politics, long consigned to the annals of history. So the man of the year, your president, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the woman of the year, Haita, whatever her name is, the pretty girl that takes care of the entertainment industry, the donkey now and forever, Peter Obi, of course, and Aisha, Natasha Akpoti, for attempting to bring back bottom power politics. So those are my nominees.
All right, thank you so much, one man. All right, so on that note, I want to thank everybody for joining us. For those who want to know my choice, my definition of man of the year or woman of the year is really about someone who, for better or for worse, it doesn't have to be because you did something good. There was a year that Hitler, I'm following the standard of Time magazine, there was a year that Hitler was a man of the year. It could be someone who is very terrible. It could be someone who is very good. But my own way of looking at it. On the global stage, I think the man of the year has to be Donald Trump. I don't like him. It's not because I like him. It's because he disrupted the world structure and continues to do that now with policies that he's putting in place. Nobody knows where it's going to end, where we are going, how the world will look like in the next 10 years. It depends on what comes after him. We don't know this. We can't answer these questions. But if he continues on this path, the midterm election here in America will have a lot to do with what happens in the next 3 years of Trump. If he continues on this path without any resistance, anybody stopping him, then it will be a different world. So based on that, for good or for bad, he is on the global stage. In terms,
Dr. Damage, now they 11 months in those still. No be
I know, and that's scary. That's scary. That's scary. Yeah. So when you come to Nigeria, amongst all the characters we see playing out. Let me first say that for me, the woman of the year is Senator Natasha. I don't think there's any question for me about that. What she tried to do, what she challenged, may not be obvious to us now, but for little girls all across Nigeria, Africa, it's for her to shake up our guy Babio, and it's not over yet. What she did will be appreciated maybe 10 years, 20 years from now. We haven't started that part of our struggle, which is what to do with half of our population. You know, we come here all men, blabbing and talking, and most of the time all men. We don't worry that half of the population are not part of this conversation, and you want change. And someone like forefathers will be disappointed and complaining about men and men. You have another 50% of the population who are not recruited, who are not part of the conversation, who are potentially people that could push for change. So we may not understand it now. Sometimes the way I assess these things, I don't think about today alone. I think about what impact will the people have in years to come, these people we are seeing now. In terms of the man of the year in terms of Nigerian space, I will do something political. I will say that, and it's from a sincere place. When I opened this channel, when I started thinking about this platform, there was no time I thought I was going to come here and be blabbing about what I believe in. I'm already doing it. I already have that platform. My thinking was that I will open this and invite people to come and have conversation. And the fact that it's going, despite the challenges, the fact that people are coming, the fact that people are having conversations and people are on the comment sections, writing comments, people are donating to support the channel. I don't know anything more important to me than this, seeing what is happening here. I'm not calling people at home to say, come to the platform, we're about to start, come and be part of it. I'm not saying, I only say, open it up and people come. And just think about the dread. For me, if I open this channel and nobody is here, I can stay here and talk for 30 minutes. That's not my idea of this platform. I know.
Ask me, I'll tell you how that feels.
No,
I've experienced. Yes,
yeah.
I've experienced.
So for me, I'll give that to the men and women who come here every Saturday, every Sunday to talk about Nigeria, Africa, and the world. They don't know. I mean, for me, they are the heroes. They are the heroine. This is. I bow. Sometimes I think about people who have passed through here. Some people who don't even come anymore. I remember them. I think about what they said, what I've sat down, how many hours I've sat down here and listened to all of you. And the comments. Today I saw somebody wrote a comment. There's so many funny comments. So this is, to me, I give that honor to you guys. It's been very enriching, personally enriching. I I may not have any way to say thank you, but I thank all of you. The fact that you're still engaged in this conversation. I have families, I have friends, I have cousins, I have people who have tuned off. They don't care what's going on there. They don't know who is the governor of their state. You can't get them to talk politics. They don't read the stories. They don't care. So you guys are my heroes, my men and women of the year. So I thank all of you, those who support us, those who write comments, and that's all they do, those who send their money to support what we do here. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. And we're going to continue next year, and we're going to do better. I don't know. I don't have anything else to say. Thank you all. I appreciate all of you. Thank you, Tony. Thank you, forefathers. Thank you.
You forget those behind the scene.
Oh, yes. They'll kill me. They actually people who are behind the scene, and they've been sending me messages. Sometimes you see me busy, or you forgot to say this. They are the ones telling me what to say. But I thank those behind the scene. Let me mention some names. Ola just got married. Ola is in Abuja. Ebike is in Port Harcourt. Ngozika is in Enugu. Chukuma helps us is in Lagos. And Jibola is in Ibadan, and so many other people.
We need to have Ali and Mohammed and
that's the plan. That's the plan next year, that we want to cover the election differently. This year we're getting into is the election year. We want to cover it. We want to bring on the ground news, and I hope that we will have the resources to do that, and I'm counting on all of you. I want to thank Show. Show has been very, very big in terms of being the executive producer. And before we go, let me talk about people who support us. I don't want to, let me just mention the names that are here today. There are a lot of people over the years, but I want to mention Oriaku Tope. Thank you so much for your support. Show, thank you so much. Oscar Blackbone, thank you. Sulak, thank you so much for your support. T Legit, thank you so much for your support. Oscar Blackbone, Nana Oyodlade, thank you so much. But over the Oscar Blackstone, thank you. And over the year, there've been so many people who were coming here supporting us. No matter what you think, it may be $2. It matters. It helps. So help us put up this. Thank you, Mama. Hold on. There's somebody I really need to mention because he doesn't give money here on the platform, but every month he sends me $10, and that is Oliver Mbamal. I don't think I've ever mentioned his name. I don't even know whether he wants me to mention his name. But these are little things. We can actually build something so that it won't be a burden on one person. Madam Luke, thank you so much. I know you are out there in Nigeria. There's so many. I don't want to brick house capital. There's so many. I don't want to miss somebody. But we are going to put together a tribute to those who helped us over the last 1 year, and maybe play it during the first show of the week. We appreciate everybody. Those who write the comments on the comment sections, some of them are very funny. Some of them upset our people. We appreciate all of you. George Bushell, thank you so much. All through the year, I see your name. You help a lot. Cynthia, thank you so much. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too small. It helps us to put this together. Again, we have people who are volunteering to do some of the things they do, and all they get is abuse and criticism, and but that's part of the job. I appreciate everybody. I don't want to cry. I don't want to go where I don't want to go. But thank you, everybody. I really, really appreciate all of you. I will see you in the new year. We're going to get bigger guests, new, interesting people. We are looking for new ideas, people who have new ideas, not just the popular names that we see in the popular media. We're going to do more, and that's our promise. But again, we need the resources to be able to do that, and the people who will volunteer. And a lot of people are volunteering behind the scene. They do things for us. They do designs. They do things. It's not just the people that you see. Thank you again, and I appreciate all of you. See you in New Year. I think there's a show coming up New Year's Eve. I think Chim is doing a show, but KJ again is about to start a show. Thank you everybody who joined, who supported us over the 2025, and I will promise you I will see you next year. Thank you. Bye bye.
Tó fẹ́ kú torí ẹ̀ o. Ọwọ́ ẹni ló ti ṣàánú kọ́. Ayé la fi sílẹ̀ sí. Lọ́nà èyí yóò.
Thank you so much for watching. Thank you. Have you subscribed? Yes, you. Have you subscribed? You. Yeah, before you go, click. It's free. Click. Just that's it. Have you subscribed? You are laughing. Have you subscribed? Have you subscribed? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, madam. Thank you so much. I can see you. I can see you. We have to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the end of the year, how are we going to do that if you don't subscribe? Yes, you. Yes, you're about to click off. Why? Have you subscribed? It's free. If you don't, ask your son, ask your daughter how to. Just one click. Thank you. Thank you. I see you. Aha. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'll see you tomorrow.